Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to the newest episode of the Chill Spot Variety Show, whatever we decide to call this.
Woo woo! That's
we
what
have
we're calling it.
we have a
Woo,
special
woo.
guest.
You got to say it like that every
with
time.
Woo woo! Welcome to
woo.
Woo Woo! We have a special guest with us today.
It me.
We're joined by Shirk Boy,
It's my good friend Brad.
Brad
It's me.
Shirk, the boy himself.
This is my Brad, not the other Brad.
Yeah, this is not that other Brad.
There's different Brads.
Although
The
I'm,
white Brad.
although I'm sure
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
gonna watch this video and wish that he was here for this.
Truthfully.
Today we're not playing card games.
Nope.
We're not doing stupid bullshit.
We're throwing it out the window.
This is
We're
serious.
we're not deciding what we would do for $1 million.
This is serious, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm actually terrified.
And now we are going to rank from S, A, B, C, D, all of the MCU movies. Remember this trend?
Yeah.
We're late. I don't give a fuck.
You're never too well. This is just like a visual tool to help list. Whatever.
Yeah.
People can watch this in the future and be like, "Oh, that's how you rank."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So they're going to check out the official Chill Spot MCU ranking
Yes.
and go from there.
Yes.
Can I just make a comment super quickly?
By all means, Sam.
About just how this website looks overall. So this is Sam's on the
Careful
mouse
not to
right now.
scroll, please.
No, of course not. So like, the way that this tier maker is laid out is very confusing to me because, well, first of all, I've never heard of S. I've
S-tier?
never
You
heard of
S tier?
You never heard of
I've never
S-tier?
heard of S in my entire life.
S tier is like, it's a video game
It's
thing.
A B C D E. It's A B C D and F.
Careful now.
Because I'm thinking about like grades.
Right.
Yeah.
the-
So
the-
when you're grading things, I think A B C D and F.
There's no S grade. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've never heard of S.
In video games, S tier is a thing.
Also, like the color was very confusing to me. So if you follow like Sungwon Cho on Twitter, he used to be like a popular Viner. Now he's a YouTuber / voice actor.
He's the best.
He did this with this exact tier maker website, but he did it with Serial.
Yep.
And I'd never seen this website before. So
I'm actually
I was
surprised you've never
like-
heard of tier maker before.
So I was like, I've never heard of S tier, and like, is it the best or at the top? Because
S is the absolute
It's
best.
the absolute
Because-
like God. To
Yeah,
because
you.
like
yeah.
the color scheme is confusing as well.
I can
The
see
red
that.
makes me think that it's getting worse.
The worst, right.
And then as it gets greener
I
and
think it's
greener.
like red is like powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Red is like striking, like the best, whereas green is like, it's green.
That's literally not how we think about things when they
Well,
go
fuck
from
that.
red to green. Green
Right.
means go. Green is a positive thing. You don't
Yeah.
want to hit
Throw
a red.
anything no out the window.
Yes.
It's done.
It's a
Yeah.
whole new fucking world here,
So,
Sam.
but I just want to tell everybody. I want to use my platform to tell everybody that tier maker is wrong and confusing and bad at their job.
Yeah. So, okay.
So let's,
All right, now
anyways.
come down off the box. Come down off the
But,
soapbox.
yeah, no, I'm done with my
right,
soapbox.
cool.
I just wanted to
We're-
put my 2 cents out there
we're
because
putting the
I
box
feel like
away.
I'm not the only person who thinks this is stupid.
Maybe you should get like a Twitter poll going. You should like
Yeah.
do it right now. Like get like a Twitter poll going, and then we'll check back at the end of the episode.
Okay. But regardless, we're gonna, S is the best.
S is the best.
D is the worst.
Okay, so we're gonna go in order of release. I might screw this up as we do it because I don't fully remember, but I know.
okay, I got you.
I know. Yeah, see, Brad's got us.
Okay.
I know for sure that
I'm
the
glad
first
somebody
movie
came prepared for this.
was Iron Man. Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 1.
We've all
What?
seen
Iron
Hulk
Man
is,
1.
Hulk is the.
Hulk is the second
Oh
one.
right. No,
We've been over this.
I always
We're already
I'm
off
such
to
a
a great start.
dumbass because I always fight people on this, and then I remember that at
It's
the
the
end of
same
Hulk,
year.
Tony Stark
Yeah,
comes in
correct.
and like recruits him to be in the
Can you
Avengers.
imagine how fucking confusing that would be if like that
Yeah.
if the other way around? Who the fuck is Robert Downey Jr.? Like,
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why is Robert
yeah,
here?
Yeah.
So anyway, the
You're
first
right.
one, the one that started it all, is
Yeah.
Iron Man. We've
You're
all seen
right.
Iron Man, right?
Yes,
Ooh,
it's been a
have
long
we,
ass
Have
time.
we clarified officially that this is just for the Infinity Saga?
Yes.
Yeah. We're not including
Yeah.
anything out. We're not. Well, actually, Far From Home is here. I think. Yeah, Far From Home is right here.
Yeah.
So like, I guess that because it's technically the end, right?
Yeah.
It's the epilogue of
Right,
Right. So anyway, regardless, Iron Man 1. I love Iron Man 1. I would actually, seriously, guys, straight up, I'll start us off the conversation. I'd put Iron Man 1 in S tier.
Wait, so let's explain how we're gonna do this because we're all gonna take turns ranking our.
Well, no,
our best
we're
to
gonna
worst.
come to a consensus
Oh,
of
do we
one
have to
order,
come
the
to a
three of us, yeah.
consensus? Okay.
So I personally,
Good. So this isn't wholly based on my opinion.
no,
because I
it's a
hate
combination of the
that.
three of ours opinions. And I'm up for debate, of course, would put Iron Man 1 in S tier. I think it's one of the best, if not the
I
best
would agree
MCU
with you,
movie.
'cause
I agree,
Without Iron Man, we literally wouldn't have any of the other ones.
Nothing, yeah.
So,
It was. I think it was a great. I don't remember the details of the movie super well, but I think it was a great starting off point. To
And a good
the-
film, like
to
a
the
genuinely
universe
good
and,
movie,
a
like-
genuinely enjoyable film. So it also goes without saying, this video is not going to be spoiler free.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Catch
Yeah.
the
you
fuck up.
haven't seen
This is 10 years of cinema. This is 10 years of cinema. Get it the fuck together.
Please.
Watch a Marvel movie.
Get
Help
Disney
us-
Plus. They're on there.
Yeah.
Help us help you,
Who
for
the fuck
God's
do you
sake.
think you are, Martin Scorsese? Watch a fucking Marvel movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, that seems pretty cut and dry.
Okay.
Iron Man 1 S tier?
Iron Man 1 S tier.
I think
yeah,
we all agree.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
First controversial movie is The Hulk.
Me personally, I'm putting Hulk down at the bottom.
D, really?
Really?
I don't like the Hulk.
I don't think it belongs at the bottom, but I don't think it belongs at the top.
I'd
I
meet
think
you
either
halfway.
A or B.
Ooh, that's too high. I would say C or B.
I think
C or B.
fine.
I would
Put it
say.
in B then, because that's the only thing that we agree on.
Okay, I would say B, and the reason why is because, well, I think Edward Norton's Hulk isn't a bad movie. It has a lot of great Hulk action,
That's very true.
but it is kind of a weird narrative, and it almost doesn't feel like an MCU movie. It's before they really figured it out.
See, my arguments are going to get better like the newer the movies get, because like I watched Hulk. I think I watched Hulk before like I watched the first or second Thor movie, because
Yeah.
I had to catch up in the universe up
Yeah.
until that point. That was, I mean, I was working at Party City then, so I was still in high school when
Yeah.
that came out. That was like 5 or 6
None of
years
us had
ago.
good
That's a
opinions back
difference.
then.
I haven't
yeah.
watched the Hulk since then,
Right.
so like
Right.
I can't actively argue, but I just remember how the movie made me feel, and I
Made you feel
remember
good?
Did it make you feel
genuinely.
angry?
I remember that movie.
You wouldn't like her when she's angry.
Right.
I remember that movie ending, and me being like, "Why the fuck does everybody hate this movie so much?" It was really good.
It has that Hulk smash moment.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And when he rips that car in half and uses it as boxing gloves,
Yeah.
like that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's just the
it's
rest.
dope.
But what's the rest of the movie? I
And
don't.
Edward
I don't remember a
Norton gives
single
a genuinely
scene.
good performance.
Edward Norton?
Tim
Yeah.
Roth as Abomination.
Yeah. Well, Edward Norton's a great fucking actor.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's the one who bowed out. He was the one who was
Yeah.
like, "Fuck the Hulk. I'm done with this bullshit."
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll leave it in B for now.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do. Okay, I will say at the end of all this, we're gonna do a recap.
Yeah.
We're gonna see if we agree.
still feel the
and we're gonna
same
move some
way.
shit around.
Okay.
So okay.
Okay,
What's the next
next
movie that comes up, Brad?
Next is Iron Man 2.
Really?
Yep.
Damn. Okay.
Immediately after. Yep.
Jump right
Iron
back
Man.
into
I gotta
I think.
find it. I actually don't see it here. Hang on. It definitely is here. I see Iron Man 3.
Is it next to Iron Man 3 there, or is that Doctor Strange?
That's this right here.
Yeah.
My eyesight's too bad.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna move away from the mic and lean forward.
Okay, sorry guys. Am I going fucking crazy? I actually don't see it.
Oh, it's beside Iron Man 3.
It is beside Iron Man.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay, watch out, Sam. You're on the mouse. You're on the mouse.
Ooh.
Okay, so Iron Man. I see it now. I can see his
Yeah.
stupid little chest thing.
Yeah. I wasn't
I-
sure if that was maybe. I wasn't sure if that was. Wait. Don Cheadle just steps in as roadie
In the second one.
in the second one.
He's not.
Yeah.
It's Terrence Howard in the first
Ah,
one.
for some reason, I must have thought that.
Marvel's
I
famous
thought that
for
Terrence
having
Howard
these
lasted for,
characters
like-
and changing them.
Yep.
Well, I thought that Terrence Howard lasted at least more than one movie, but he
Nope,
really,
nope.
he really didn't.
Terrence
Iron Man
Howard
one. Okay.
in Iron Man 2, he was like, I want to get paid more than RDJ. And he was like, and everyone was like, well, he's the main character, so
No.
no.
This is also Robert Downey fucking Jr.
Well, at the time,
and he just
he
made us a
wasn't.
boatload of money in the first
Well,
Iron Man
you have to remember
movie.
though that at the time of Iron Man 2, he wasn't Robert Downey fucking Jr.
He still wasn't even after the first Iron Man.
No, people were still like, yeah, he did well, but you know,
Okay.
people remembered from the 90s, you know,
Okay.
when he was
They
all
remember,
fucked up.
yeah.
Okay, I guess it takes
They
a while.
remembered Bad Boy.
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr.
I
So
guess
anyway.
it takes a while. Okay.
Controversial pick, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd put Iron Man 2 in the C. I think
Yeah.
Iron Man 2 is not great.
I don't remember Iron Man 2 enough to
Iron
really.
Man 2 had Mickey Rourke as Whiplash.
Yep.
That's right.
Which was a weird choice in my opinion.
I thought.
Mickey Rourke or Whiplash?
Whiplash, no, because Whiplash is apparently quite a prominent Iron Man enemy.
Right.
So like, I'm not like upset about the choice of Whiplash.
Right.
I didn't think Ricky Rourke.
Rourke?
Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Mouse.
Rick Rook.
Mickey. I thought Mickey Rourke was just okay. Again though, like, but I think about the movie and I think it has like cool scenes with like the racetrack, and it has that cool scene when they're fighting the robots at the end.
Oh, part of that scene with the racetrack when he puts on
Yes.
the suit. That's
Yeah.
arguably the best suit up.
Probably the cool,
So,
one of the coolest
Yeah.
suit-ups.
We'll give it that.
That's
I'll give it
actually
that.
the part of the movie I remember the most.
That's what everyone remembers.
Yeah, it's the suitcase
It's not
because like
even, it has
ro-
nothing to do with Iron Man.
Well, I remember watching the movie and Happy gets the suitcase, and the whole time I'm like, there it is. It's from the trailer, you know. So, but then the conclusion is stupid. They beat Whiplash with like a team up blast.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really dumb.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I think it's a largely forgettable movie aside from a handful of
Yeah,
choice
I don't remember the
moments.
last time I watched it.
So I think C personally is where I'd put Iron Man 2. You two are open to disagree.
No, I'm okay with that.
I'm okay. Okay.
Yeah. We're not
I'll
at the
leave it there.
controversial picks yet. Wait till we get there.
Yeah, I'll leave it there. I'll
What's the
leave
next
it
movie?
Thor.
First Thor?
First Thor.
First Thor was great.
I would put Thor at a B or C, to be honest.
Really? You don't want to put it in an A?
I would agree with C actually.
C, really?
Seriously.
Let's talk it out. Why do you think Thor should be ranked higher?
Remind me again how the first Thor goes. I
Thor-
remember-
He gets casted out and sent to
Right.
Middle
No.
of America.
I really.
to Arkansas.
I
yeah,
really
or Kansas.
Somewhere.
I what I love the most about the first Thor movie, because I was on Tumblr when Thor came out, and then like the
so
the
sorry.
Tumblr girls were like having their heyday
Loki.
with everything Loki, and I was like, okay, let's see how fucking great this Tom Hiddleston guy is as Loki.
And then you're like, I kind of want to sit on his face.
Side note.
Okay.
First Thor came out.
Yeah.
I thought Tom Hiddleston was Jared Leto.
I could see that.
I've kept that for so long.
When you see him with the black hair, I could see
I
it.
thought that Tom Hiddleston. I was
I
like, Jared
could-
Leto's in a Marvel
I
movie.
could see why.
If you
he
only
technically
saw
is
him
now.
Now
in
he
his,
is with
if you
Morbius.
only saw him in his Loki garb, I would see how you could see that physically. Just not
And it's just
performance,
Tom
just like
Hiddleston's,
if you saw
round
if you
baby
showed me
face at the
if I had
time.
never seen Tom Hiddleston before and you showed me a picture of him as like
Jared
Loki
Leto.
without the helmet on with the long dark hair from a distance,
From it,
I'd be
glasses
like,
off.
oh look, Jared Leto's coming towards me.
Totally.
Regardless, I really appreciated how Marvel wasn't afraid to make the hero look like a fucking idiot.
Well, and he is for most of the movie.
Just like a total dirtbag.
I mean, Thor didn't
not
even
a total
really.
dirtbag, but like just
High
a
ego.
just a
High ego.
jock.
Yeah.
Just a big fat
Yeah, literally.
They
stupid
showed-
dumb
Well,
jock.
Well, you know what? It's
a real
very.
himbo.
It's very.
if I
It's
may.
quite the Shakespearean hubris falling.
And I
because it's
really-
directed by Kenneth Branagh.
I really
Right,
It's
enjoyed.
insane.
I really enjoyed that, which is why I think it should be in either A or B, because of the story of like two brothers, one being adopted and
Okay.
not feeling like he belongs super well, and then like the biological brother is
just-
like a kind of an asshole.
I just remember the actual
you know?
like.
there was a humanistic quality to it that grounded it
But
outside of it being about.
I remember
gods.
the A plot being rather uninteresting, where it's like
Yeah.
some big fucking machine thing with a
Yeah.
laser face comes
Yeah.
out, and like
Yeah.
it's super uninteresting.
Yeah.
And then he beats it in the middle of a town, and the movie ends.
Right.
But all
And
that
it's like-
stuff, all that stuff with Thor and Loki, and like Loki like going to the frost giants and
Yeah.
you know fucking like making that mistake, and then Thor has to come in and save them, and they have to realize like that they're brothers through and through.
Okay.
And like blood doesn't matter. I think that was well written and extremely well performed by
And
Chris
it
Hemsworth
does
and
it
Tom
does build
Hiddleston.
into the rest of the series with Thor as well.
It carries on
serves-
throughout.
serves
It
as a
carries on
good-
throughout the rest of the series, and
Okay.
they set that
You know
up
what?
really,
Okay,
really well.
I'll meet you in the middle, Sam.
You've
I'll put it in
changed
B.
me, yeah.
I'll put it in B.
Yeah, I actually
Okay.
know.
I think Thor 1 is as good as the first Hulk movie.
I think it should go in A, but for the sake of this,
Well,
like.
let's get to the end.
Yeah,
and then
this
maybe
a lot more
this
movies.
is a team thing. So I'll be
meet
a
you in the
team
middle.
player, and we'll say B.
What's the next movie?
Next we have Steve Rogers himself, Captain America, the First Avenger.
The first
Ooh.
Avenger. That's this
That's-
one.
that's
hey,
like
Brad,
A
you're,
or S.
You're closest to the. Is this the right one?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do A. I say A
I-
because
I would put-
I think that Winter Soldier should be S tier.
For
But
sure.
We'll cross
Well,
that bridge. when
yeah,
we get
yeah,
to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No
but I
spoilers.
say the first one goes in A.
I would agree with that actually. I really like the first Avenger. I know it gets shit on a lot.
Yeah.
I think the first Captain America movie is awesome.
Yeah.
I like how it's like
I love
it's
so
like a
much.
World War One or World War Two movie.
I mean, the fucking CGI where they put Chris Evans's head on top of that
yeah, yeah.
scrawny little body
It's
while
a-
he's like
it's a
being
little
Steve
weird,
Rogers
but,
is
like,
so bad.
a little
Right.
weird.
It's
totally.
so bad. It was bad when I saw it. It's only gonna get worse as it ages, but it's a good movie.
It also
Totally.
had
It's
some
a- it's a
really
good
like,
movie.
Marvel movies are always known for having like really high actors in there, but this movie had Tommy Lee Jones.
Yes.
It had Stanley Tucci,
Yes.
Had who played Red Skull?
Hugo Weaving.
Hugo Weaving. That's right.
Yes.
I
Mr.
love that-
Smith.
well, 'cause-
He played Mr. Smith in The Matrix, right?
Yes.
That was him?
Well, I also love how in Captain America: First Avenger they really set Cap up to be a soldier, right? Because Cap
Yes.
killed people.
Yes.
Yep.
There's that scene when he breaks in with his boys and he's got a fucking gun
literally
and he's
has a pistol.
shooting
Yeah.
Nazis.
Yep.
It's like
Yeah.
he's not a superhero; he's a soldier, and that plays into so much of his character and how that
Yeah.
tends to evolve and why he reacts to things a certain way.
Yeah.
Because he always knows, like when killing needs to happen.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
he's not a scout. He's a soldier.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I think A is the perfect place for the
Yeah.
first Avenger.
Yeah.
What's the next movie?
We have the Avengers.
Really? Already teaming up?
Wow. They don't even. okay.
Avengers 1?
You know what?
A.
Yeah,
sure.
I'll put it in A.
Yeah.
A.
Yeah, I'll put it in A.
I have a lot of really fond memories of the first Avengers movie.
So do I.
Yeah, me
I
too.
think it had a lot of really cool fucking moments.
Yep.
Standout moments are like when Loki gets the shit kicked out.
Yeah,
all of them
ragdolled by
revolve
Hulk.
It all revolves
Yeah.
around
Oh,
Hulk
yeah.
has the best moment when he
Yeah.
turns
Is that
around
where
and
we
punches.
first see Ruffalo as Hulk?
It's Ruffle Hulk, yeah.
Ruffle Hulk.
Ruffle Hulk.
Ruffalo, they had to go find. I remember because Scarlett Johansson has to go find Mark Ruffalo, and it's like, remember when it looked like Edward Norton?
She uses that little girl to like
lure him,
lure him away, which I loved that.
And he has
scene.
that. Oh, I'm always angry, Cap.
That's
Yeah.
my secret
moment.
I'm always angry.
Which, like, if you actually think
Which,
about
like,
it,
same.
doesn't make a lick of sense, but whatever. Because he tends to, the rest of the series is him not being able to control Hulk. But I don't know.
It's also I think I saw a thing that's like the first and last time that you ever see Bruce Banner turn into the Hulk.
Yeah,
You
like
see Hulk,
actually.
you see Hulk go
He
back to
either-
Banner all the time.
Yeah.
But
That's an
the
interesting
first
point.
And last time that you ever see him change
Transform.
like that.
They were like, we can afford this once.
And it's fun, right? Like the first
can do it
Avengers movie was
backwards.
fun.
Yeah.
We can't
or
do it
like, or
forwards.
not. Maybe it's not about affording. Maybe it's about like the animators literally never want to fucking do this again.
Yeah.
Like, so let's just.
And then I would say,
Work
like,
around it.
Joss Whedon did a good job with the direction. It was really fun. Because it's funny, right? Because I actually watched the first Avengers on TV recently, like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's amazing how much it feels like a TV movie when you watch it on TV.
Yeah.
Because Joss Whedon knows how to direct for TV, right?
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's just interesting how they made it. Like they really brought these characters together, and it doesn't feel convoluted. It doesn't feel like a bloated movie that has too many characters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm happy with A.
Yeah.
Um,
I love the Avengers. Like, I
Totally.
just like at the time at that point in my life I had never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
And
It's literally,
yeah, it's a good point.
just
It's
like
the first
seeing,
of its kind.
seeing all these superheroes come together, and I guess I'd never seen it outside of TV or anything like that. But seeing all these heroes just like come together and like beat up some bad guys in New York, and then there's that like glorious like after credits scene where they all get shawarma and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
it sparked the shawarma craze.
Exactly. You know what? I would be. I think that if you Googled it,
Do you think it played it? You think it played in a
I
little
think
bit?
I think
of
there's a little bit of
shawarma.
correlation.
Yeah.
I think there's a bit of a correlation there.
Oh,
Do you think
absolutely.
Mediterranean people were like, "Fuck yeah"?
Yeah, Mosey,
Fuck yeah.
It's our time.
Mosey shawarma on King Street in Waterloo, just like their ears just like went on fire. And they've been
Laziz and
doing
Osmos were like, "Did you see the movie?
banging
Did you see
business
it?"
ever since.
That's our thing.
Yeah, no, I love the Avengers.
All right,
Yeah.
ladies and germs. What's the next movie?
Iron Man 3.
Oh, I already know what I'm gonna do with that. I put that right there.
This is the one that I haven't seen,
know what?
so
Iron Man 3 is dog shit.
I haven't
don't
seen it
remember
partly.
Iron Man 3 all that
I haven't
well,
seen
and I
it
think
partly
that
because I'm
says
really
something.
bad about seeing Iron Man movies, and I also have been told not to see it. So
Iron
by
Man
everyone,
3 is
everyone.
far and away one of the worst MCU movies for sure. They didn't know what to do with it. I just feel like they was completely aimless.
I'm just
Who's
trying to
the
think.
director
Is
of
that the
that?
only
Shane
no.
Black, I think.
I think.
I was just trying to think. Is this the only like MC in like standalone MCU movie that has had a third one? But no, Thor has 3, and
And so does
Ragnarok
Cap.
is great, and
so does
Cap,
Cap.
yeah.
Cap, yep.
So yeah, well,
Okay.
but I think, okay, the thing that I bothers me about Iron Man 3 is that they really fucked up everything. It feels like because I don't understand Tony's arc at the end of the movie. Do you care?
No.
At the end of the movie, he like throws away his heart and like destroys all of his suits, and it seems like he's gonna
his,
like
his heart being the arc reactor.
yeah. His like little.
It's
What
the
is an
thing
actual
that's
human
keeping him
heart?
alive.
He
Yeah.
rips out his human heart from his chest,
Yeah.
Kali Ma style, and throws it into the ocean. And then you think he's gonna stop being Iron Man, but then the next movie he shows up in, he's like, "Well, he's Iron Man." Like he never stopped. Like I just don't get
Yeah.
it, right? And then the bad guy's power was weird. It was like extremists or whatever, and it was like a disease that infected people. But the bad guy
It was
could like
the
control
the
it.
Mandarin, but it wasn't actually the Mandarin.
Oh, that's right.
It wasn't
I
actually the
forgot
Mandarin,
about that. So the Mandarin is kind of like Iron Man's Joker. It's
Okay.
like the arch nemesis of Iron Man.
Okay.
So when they announced that Iron Man 3 was going to do the Mandarin, everyone was like, "Whoa."
About fucking time.
But
And it was Ben Kingsley.
Ben Kingsley.
And everyone was like, holy shit.
What a great actor. That's
Remind me
great
again
casting.
who Ben Kingsley
he played
is?
Gandhi.
Oh,
He was also
okay.
Bagheera in the Jungle Book remake.
Okay.
Sir Ben Kingsley.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
The man, the myth, the legend.
It rings a bell.
So
I
then
gotta
it-
see
Yeah,
a
you'll-
face
you know.
though.
But then the movie pulls the rug out from under you, and the Mandarin is actually an actor hired by the real bad guy to pretend to be the bad guy.
Okay.
And it's like,
You're like, oh,
wow, okay. I was kind of hoping for the Mandarin.
This guy played Gandhi.
Ben Kingsley? May I see the picture? Make sure you're not looking at the wrong person.
If you
Yeah.
don't know who Ben Kingsley is,
Yeah.
feel free to look him up.
Does
Yeah.
he have a drop of Indian ancestry in him at all?
No,
I actually don't think so.
I don't think so.
Well, that Gandhi movie,
Anyways.
I've never seen it. Anyway.
Okay.
Well, we're getting off topic.
Yeah, we gotta focus.
So
gotta
there's a
focus
point
up.
when the real bad guy, he like hates Tony Stark because he was rude to him at a party or something. And like, yeah, that's seriously all I remember about the motivation behind this bad guy.
That's most of villains associated with Iron Man.
Because he was a dick to him when he was
It's just
drunk one
like,
time.
Tony Stark treated them badly, and they don't like Tony Stark.
Oh,
Yeah.
Right.
So there's a
Right.
point where Tony is in I think it's Tony or Rhodes, and he's in a suit and he won't come out of the suit. So the bad guy who has like extremist powers uses it to like heat up the suit, like heat the metal.
Okay.
And I swear to God, at one point he breathes fire like a fucking dragon. He breathes fire, and I was like, "Fuck this movie!" I am so done. I've never walked out of a movie. I saw it with Steve and Brad, and we all turned to each other at the end, and I was like, "God, like that sucked ass. Like that was awful, right?"
Yeah.
But anyway, so D, are we happy with D?
I'm comfortable. With
I can't say anything.
You have no
about
opinion
this,
on
and
that?
This is just a Brad and Cam opinion.
I trust your wherewithal.
There's going to be one on here that only the two of you can talk about. And what's the next movie?
Next movie is we are at Thor: The Dark World.
Well, I mean, speak of the devil.
like this
I've never
movie.
seen Thor: The Dark World all the way through.
I like this
Really?
movie. This movie gets
Really?
shat on all the time, I feel like, in conversations about the MCU, but I liked it. I liked it.
I mean,
Where is?
without Thor: The Dark
this
World, we
one.
wouldn't have that one scene and that whole like section of scenes in Endgame. So
Oh, you mean
we have
like?
to, you know,
Okay, well, yeah, when it pays off.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so would you say then that Thor: The Dark World is more of a setup movie than anything else? Well,
Yeah, I guess.
Is it a good movie
And, like,
then, though?
I enjoyed it. I liked the whole thing with the ether being the most like powerful substance in the world, and like this Malekith person like wants to also like
Eccleston?
Christopher Eccleston, who's coincidentally also my favorite Doctor from Doctor Who. Like, I don't know. I just really enjoyed it, and I see no reason for people to like shit all over it. I know that some of the stuff from it doesn't necessarily show up later on, and it just sets up it's fluff. It's fluffy.
Is it fluffy? It's one of those.
But-
it's kind of.
I'd be down to put it in like B. You know.
What do you think, Brad? I actually don't have I can't really have an opinion on this.
Because you've never fully. I want to put it in D.
Wow.
Just because
Instinct.
because I want also Iron Man 3 just to have a friend down there.
He is kind of lonely, isn't he?
Yeah, I feel like he'll get a friend.
It's
One of
I
these
don't-
movies.
I feel like it might be like the Phantom Menace syndrome, where like people consider Phantom Menace to be the worst Star Wars movie.
It's fine.
But then over time, exactly, like it's
It's like
fine.
Yeah.
I think it will have that over time. I think it'll have that.
Could we
effect.
meet in the middle, C or B?
If
C?
you must put it in C. But I feel like
Well, don't worry.
I feel like if we revisit this
Right.
list in 10 years, it'll move up a couple notches. I
Yeah.
have all the faith in the world.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
What's the next film, Brad?
The God tier, Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Oh, well, dude, is this even a
just
question?
zip
Let's
that
put
on
it up
up
there
to
with
that
Iron
S
Man.
tier
Do
there
we-
and
do
just
we need
stick
to
it
even
right
discuss-
there.
Yeah. This isn't even this is not an unpopular opinion. Everybody likes Winter Soldier
Literally
the best.
everybody.
Yeah.
It's like the most
Great.
highly regarded MCU film
It's our friend Emily's favorite movie.
Yeah.
of all time.
Just
Marvel movie.
because
Okay,
of the
okay.
heavy Bucky content.
Yeah.
Well, you know, because it's the first movie with directors
Oh, the Russo brothers.
the Russo brothers. I
Russo
just
brothers,
said the
that's
Coen
it.
brothers. I'm like, that's not right.
No.
Could you imagine if the
We
Coen
have-
That'd be the
brothers
weirdest
directed
fucking
Winter
movie ever.
Soldier? That would be so
We
dope.
haven't yet reached that.
Well, see, the reason why Winter Soldier is such a good movie, in my opinion, is because it breaks the mold of being a Marvel movie. Because a lot of people, like my dad, watched Winter Soldier, and he's not a comic book fan,
Right.
but he likes spy thrillers,
Right,
And
which
that's
is
all
why-
Winter Soldier
Yeah.
is, you know. So like, it's fucking great.
It's
I don't
genre-bending.
even need to sit
It's-
here.
It crossed over.
I don't even need to sit here and sing its praises.
There's
I
no-
think it's
yeah,
fucking
there's
great.
no argument. There's no. You know.
Yeah. What's the next one, Brad?
Next one is. Guardians of the Galaxy.
First
Oh, that's one of your
is.
faves,
That is
buddy.
my-
Where do you see?
Guardians
This
of-
is Guardians 2, I think.
Guardians of the Galaxy is by Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, it's next to Thor
There it is,
Ragnarok.
okay.
Yeah.
I would put Guardians in A.
Yeah.
It's good, great movie.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what?
Well,
What's up?
Okay.
Talk-
no,
talk-
no,
talk-
no,
talk to me.
I want to
No, no.
because you're the Star Lord stan. So
Yeah.
I really want to
Well-
see. I really want to see
I
this.
want to put it in A, but then I was thinking about the sequel. But we'll talk about the sequel when we get there.
okay, yeah.
Let's talk about the first one first.
Okay. I like it because strictly at the time it came out, that felt like how
Get there.
how
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to psych you. Psych you, Ash.
how people felt when they first watched Star Wars, the original
Okay.
Star Wars. I feel like I felt when I saw Guardians of the Galaxy. I went,
Very cool.
oh my god, that was like wow.
Right.
Yeah.
That felt like my Star Wars.
Okay.
Interesting.
So yeah, you feel like you had just witnessed
The birth of,
An
of
event.
your sci-fi series.
an
Right.
event.
Yeah.
I
You
was
know.
like, that was a yeah.
Every generation has a sci-fi series.
Yeah.
And this Guardians of the Galaxy, I think, is considered by a lot of people to be ours. You know, sort of like, or well, I shouldn't say ours specifically, but like
yeah.
the next generation, the next
And
big
obviously,
wave.
like I see a bunch of Han Solo in Peter
Star-Lord,
Quinn.
yeah.
In Peter
Oh, for
Quinn.
sure.
Soundtrack, incredible soundtrack.
You know, you're right.
Yes.
I actually rocked the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack forever.
Yeah.
When it, like, I bought it on my phone.
Wow.
And like had it.
No, it was.
You know
it was
what?
super- Actually, I remember not being able to find it on Spotify. Weirdly enough, so I have a playlist called "Definitely Not a Superhero Playlist." Nope, not here. And it's just
And it's all the songs.
it's all the songs featured.
Well, you know what?
Wow.
I'd say so. I'd say so. I really love the first Guardians movie.
That's very high.
Just talking about it right now, and especially bringing up the soundtrack, I literally remember it was it would have been second semester, first year university, just like walking around campus, going to acting classes, yucking it up with friends, listening to the soundtrack. What the fuck just happened?
He just knocked over the Kleenex box and his nugs.
Sorry.
Don't-
And it's such a nostalgic time. And
Make
the
sure you
effects
count
are
those
so
nugs,
good.
by the way. Count those nugs. Make sure one didn't fall behind the grate.
Like, we were just talking about Marvel movies, and Brad just like destroyed everything.
yeah. Sorry.
Chaotic energy.
You were talking about walking around university, going to acting
Whatever, yeah,
classes,
it's just-
listening to the Guardians soundtrack.
It's a nostalgic movie for me, and I
Yeah.
do think that as a narrative, like, it's really tight, and it also does a really good job of setting up the cosmic side of the MCU.
Right.
Remind me again. So
It's the first appearance of Thanos.
I know.
No. Well, first full appearance.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
No, but remind me again what exactly like Star-Lord has to do in Guardians of the Galaxy.
They
Like,
have
what is
the
his overall
orb.
goal?
Ronan's the villain, played by Lee Pace.
Who's
Right.
The
Ooh.
orb.
Ronan's great.
Daddy.
The orb.
Daddy Ronan.
Sorry, you took me away. The orb houses the Power Stone,
Okay.
and Thanos wants the Power Stone, so he sends Ronan.
To go
yes.
get it.
Ronan
Yes.
like knows the power of it, and he goes, "Fuck you, Thanos.
Yeah. I'm getting
I'm
it for
gonna-
myself.
I have the Power Stone."
Yeah.
And then basically the Guardians want. I think the Nova Corps hires the Guardians, and then they're like, "Hey, go get that
Get our-
Power
get
Stone.
our stone
Right.
Give
back.
it to us. We're gonna keep it safe."
Okay.
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 Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
and
they
then-
have
and
that
then,
sick
like,
dance
the-
off at the end.
Yeah, and there's like something,
That's all.
Yeah.
something like isn't Yondu in their way too? Like
Well,
Yeah,
well,
they-
Yondu is after Quill
no.
because he stole something from him, didn't he?
Yes.
Didn't Quill steal the Power Stone from Yondu, or
Yes,
something?
I think so. Something
right?
like that,
something
yeah.
like that. I don't fully
I own the
remember.
movie. I should watch it again.
We should have watched all these movies in preparation for this video.
well, I'm just like I'm thinking about that, and it's like maybe I should, especially the earlier ones, so I could weigh in a bit more. But I would say A, but I can acquiesce and
Okay.
be a team player.
Let's
with
put
an
it on S for now,
Yeah.
and then we'll see where we are at the
Yeah.
end of this video if we need to make some changes.
Yeah.
What's the next movie, Brad?
Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a contentious one. I would put Age of Ultron in C or B. Truth be
I don't
told.
think it belongs in C.
You think that's too low?
I think that's too low.
What do you think, Brad?
I remember liking it at the time. I saw it. I was like, okay, yeah, that was fun. I really like James Spader as Ultron.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yes.
just even voice wise, that was like perfect.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
he did a
yes.
good job.
I loved the introduction of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Oh, that's right. That was their first
R.I.P.
movie.
Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they didn't kill him.
And like as much as I really
gonna put
don't
this down for a second.
like Hawkeye, like I don't like Jeremy Renner. I also don't like fucking Hawkeye. I think
Yeah,
I think he's kind of a lame superhero.
Sort of lame. But he
But he
gets
does have
his
that great conversation with Wanda where he's like, if you like, I know you want to help, but the second that you help, you're an Avenger. Suck it up and get used to that fact.
Right.
They
yeah.
have that whole conversation,
Right.
and I like that part. I love the moral stuff with these superhero movies. So anything that focuses on like the impact of being a superhero on the person or on the society as a whole, like things that deal with that sort of thing, I love. Which like when I get to Black Panther, just
Yeah.
wait, just fucking wait.
You'll probably
Just-
notice at
just
home
hold out.
that this video is 45 minutes long. The 25 minutes after now is going to be Sam
Talking about Black Panther.
ranting about Black Panther.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Ultron. Okay, I think B or C. Sam probably thinks B or A.
Yeah.
It also.
What
sorry,
do
I
you
just-
think?
I just want to say.
I just can't
it
really think of any
also,
weak
because
points.
we come from. This is the second Avengers movie. This is the second time that they're all coming together.
Hmm.
Yes.
In the first Avengers movie, they came together, but they were all still kind of like iffy on each other because it was like
They were learning about-
they
yeah.
they learned each other.
They had to learn how to play
the
nice.
first scene of this movie is them like fighting,
Full on ass
batting out, and they're
kicking,
all,
yeah.
like, buddies making
Yeah.
quips at each other.
Totally.
Yeah.
They're a
So,
team.
like,
They're a
it's
team.
Yeah, they're a team. It
Hey,
sets-
big guy.
Right.
Sun's getting real
Stone's
low.
getting real fucking low. Okay, how about this? How about this, guys? How about this? I will agree that it definitely shouldn't be in maybe D. It's
Wait.
definitely not in D.
Can I ask to expand on why you, or maybe just like the general population as a whole of people who like Marvel movies, thinks that Ultron is a weaker movie in the universe? Like, what is it
a good
exactly?
question.
I have heard that people think it is the weaker one out of the Avengers movies, but I can never quite put my finger on why. Nobody really says
Again,
why.
I feel like it suffers. Sorry,
Go on.
I feel like it suffers the same thing that you were saying about Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah,
where it kind of just
it's pretty
seems like
much what I was gonna
it's
say.
like-
Fluffy?
it's just setting up. It just feels like another setup.
It's
movie.
very much a middle movie, and there's not a lot of payoff. Because let me finish. So like the thing that makes the first Avengers great, in my opinion, is because we've seen Loki introduced in Thor. We've seen him in a sequel.
Yes.
And now he's the villain, like the big bad of this first Avengers movie. Ultron is created, introduced, and killed in
that
his movie.
All in one
So
movie.
we don't spend nearly enough time with him.
Okay.
And like I do like James Spader. I think it's good casting, but I thought he was really jokey, and I thought there was points when that killed the tension. Truth be told.
Okay.
There's a weird scene where Thor is like, I don't know what to do, and he goes to like a lake, and he gets in the lake, and then he
Yeah.
comes out, and then
Yeah.
makes Vision, and it's like, well, how did you know how to do that? And he was like,
Right, I
oh.
forgot
Yeah.
Vision's in this movie. He's introduced in this movie.
Yeah, well, I was
completely
just gonna
forgot.
say this is when Vision is birthed in
There's
this movie,
tons-
specifically to kill Ultron.
Right.
There's tons of great stuff in this movie, but it is very much a setup for the next phase.
Mm-hmm.
And that is why I think it's a little bit weaker. Now that we have the whole Infinity Saga out,
Yeah.
I do think that it fits perfectly where it needs to fit.
Yep.
But you have to remember that when it came out,
Yeah.
people were leaving the theaters being like, well
Seems
I gotta
like you tied up
wait.
a lot of ends here.
I gotta wait until like the third Thor to like find out what the fuck that was
Yeah.
all about.
Right.
Because
right.
like I remember at the time what I said, and I don't know if this really holds water, so I'll say it out loud and we can talk about it. I found Avengers: Age of Ultron to be written very much like a comic book, as opposed to a movie.
Yeah.
Because in a comic book, a character might do something, and there's a little blurb on the top, or goes, "Go read this issue to understand what the hell he's talking about."
Right.
Like I felt it was like Thor goes to the lake, and it's like, go watch Thor Ragnarok to like figure out what the hell this is. And it's like that doesn't work when the movie's not out yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is
Right.
personally why I think it's a lot of threads that get left open,
Right.
which then eventually get answered. But if I think about it, like 2012, when it was coming out, or whenever it came out, no, 2014 when it came out,
I think, yeah.
14, 15, regardless, when it came out, there wasn't a lot of build up to it, and there wasn't a lot of payoff. It's very much a middle movie, in my opinion.
Okay.
Do
Okay.
you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I agree that those are reasons to take issue with this movie. I don't see why it should be ranked low, though.
I don't think it should be
It
ranked
doesn't.
D.
It doesn't like see like it, you know like
It's not a
with
bad
Iron
movie.
Man, with Iron Man 3, it seems like it was a detriment to
Yeah.
to the universe.
It was a shit
to
movie.
have this movie, or like like D, like with what is that? Is that Iron Man 2 there?
That's Iron Man 2 and Thor: The Dark World.
and Thor: The Dark World, where like they were just
Weaker movies.
they're just weaker and kind of meh.
So how about
I don't.
this?
I like Ultron. Like it has all that stuff wrong with it. I see where you're coming from with that, and that makes sense. But I don't. It's not a bad movie.
Well, it's not a bad movie at all. Well, how about this? It's not better than the first one,
No.
so it shouldn't be an A.
I'm okay with B. I'm actually okay now.
Yeah,
I'm
we can
seeing
stick it in
I'm
B.
hearing what you're saying. I'm okay
We
with
can.
B.
I think we. Yeah, I think that what you've outlined is enough to knock it down a couple of pegs. And yeah, you're right. I don't think it belongs in S. And
No,
I think
God,
that
no.
the things that are wrong with it are enough
I
to
would
knock
fight.
it out of
I would
A.
fight it if you guys wanted to
Oh,
go.
100%,
I'd be like, no
100%.
fucking way. It's as good as Winter Soldier.
And like like from the perspective of somebody who like that's like the latest movie in the MCU universe, and like you're just left with all of his ends untied. I think that's enough to knock it out of A. But I
am.
would not put it any lower than a B.
no, I think a B.
I think that's a hard end there for
if
Ultron.
Avengers: Ultron was a movie project assignment and I was a teacher, I would give it a B plus
right.
because
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yes.
They did a
Yes.
good job,
It exceeds expectations, but like not that much.
but it's not as good as the first
not
one.
that
Right.
much. Yeah.
Okay, what's
I'm
the next movie?
comfortable with that.
We got.
I'm glad we came to that conclusion.
Me too. Thank you for expanding on your thoughts so eloquently.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm happy that I sometimes worry that when I explain myself, I'm not making any fucking sense.
Not this
Just
time.
blabbering.
Not this time.
There's
You
other
did a
times.
good job.
Next up, we got Daddy Paul Rudd in Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
So
this one was great.
I fucking love
I
Ant-Man.
fucking love it. And
I'm
like,
not gonna lie.
see,
I'd
like-
put Ant-Man in A.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say the same
Yeah.
thing.
It's as good as these movies. I think.
remember when like Ant-Man was announced in Age of Ultron or whatever. I was like, are you fucking a new one? A new one? There's like 7 people in this.
So many characters.
There's so many of them. I'm sort of want another one.
And then you watched it and you were like, this movie's awesome.
Yeah, no, I felt like the oldest sibling, and my mom just told me that they were gonna have a 5th kid, and I was like, there's so many already, stop it. And then the 5th kid comes and I like love it. It's just the same.
Yeah,
you know?
totally.
Well, yeah, because it will go back.
And
to
I love Paul Rudd.
Of course.
Who doesn't?
Who doesn't? But,
Ageless Paul Rudd.
Just so happens
all
when you're not a
around
racist
good
asshole.
person.
Exactly.
Totally.
All around good person.
But you're-
Side note, did you guys see the Billy on the Street clip where like Billy on the Street was doing promo with Chris Evans for Knives Out, and they just like run into Paul Rudd on the streets of New
No, I
York?
didn't see
I
that.
think that might have been
Semi-planned? Okay.
Because like, how do you just happen to get Paul Rudd and Chris Evans together?
I'm down to have it be a coincidence in my mind.
But no, so we're saying that like Winter Soldier was like a spy espionage
Mm-hmm.
movie. This is not even arguably. It's a heist movie.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's like it's an MCU heist movie.
And it's half directed by Edgar Wright.
That's right.
It was almost fully directed by Edgar Wright.
Right. And I'm still interested to see what that movie would have been.
It would have been so weird and different. But you're right, because, well, I mean, Ant-Man also works as one of the best MCU comedies, in my opinion. There's a lot of great jokes, a lot of great bits that really land well in Ant-Man. And then the effects are really good. Like, the shrinking effect, I think, is
Right.
actually so fucking
So
cool.
good.
The whole sequence, I mean,
The way you see like each part of him, like an Animorphs
Yeah,
cover,
yeah, like the-
like each part of him as he gets smaller.
And then, they introduced Hank Pym, who's a really funny character, really cool character.
Yeah.
They introduced his daughter,
pivotal
whose name, Hope. Her name is Hope.
Yeah, it is Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Wasp is
The
Hope.
Wasp. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
But we don't know that by this movie yet.
no, of course. She doesn't exist. But yeah, and then, I don't know, man. It's a fun little movie. It's kind of how I feel about some of these in-between MCU movies, where it's like, I didn't expect Thanos to show up in Ant-Man.
Right.
But I'm glad that we got a fun little story.
Yeah.
You know, and it's got a lot of heart. You meet his daughter and his family, and they're divorced, and the husband's kind of too much.
Yeah.
The husband is played by Ray Romano's brother, isn't he?
No.
Am I getting actor confused?
Yep. Let me just.
Well, we do a little Google check.
Yeah.
You're
Let me
not
just do
thinking
a
of
Google
Brad Garrett, are you?
fact check.
I don't know, man.
Okay.
I actually have no idea. As someone who just looks exactly like him, then.
But
Right.
it is a good cast. They had good chemistry. Leslie Mann, I think, was his ex-wife.
and I was gonna say,
who I
is,
love.
Like, you're saying like the effects.
No,
or
Judy
whatever.
Greer was his wife.
You're right. The effects, and especially at the end when he's fighting Yellow
Bobby
Jacket.
Cannavale. That's who it was.
Right.
Yeah.
The effects at the end when he's fighting Yellow Jacket with like on the whole train track and like the little like,
Yeah.
gigantic Thomas the Tank Engine and everything.
Oh,
That's
man.
genius. Shit like that works really, really well.
I forgot. Was Randall Park in Ant-Man?
Yes,
Oh man,
Who does
good
he
for
play?
him.
he's in the
Someone
sequel
named
as
Jimmy
well.
Woo.
He's
Oh, he's the FBI agent.
yeah.
Remember
Sure.
the Asian guy?
No,
Really?
really.
He's like heavily featured in the second one.
Okay.
Remember Asian Jim from
Nope.
The Office?
Oh yes, no, I know. No, I know who Randall Park is.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember his part in the movie.
I thought you were just like, I don't know.
No, no. I know who Randall
doesn't
Park
exist.
is. Randall Park is the best.
Yeah. Who's
Yeah.
that? Well, anyway, so are we happy with Ant-Man being
I'm
an
okay
A?
with A.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Ant-Man, starting with A.
Ant-Man.
A for Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
So what's the next one, Brad?
We got Captain America: Civil War.
S tier.
yeah.
High
Really?
up S tier. Yep.
Yeah?
Yep. Big ass S tier. Just put it in the S. Just move it up there. You agree with me? Move that mouse down right down.
No.
then
Okay,
put it
well,
up to
first
the
of all,
top,
this is a
put it in the
discussion,
S tier.
Sam. You can't just bully your way like you do all the time.
Fucking do it,
This is the
Cameron.
one. So for context, this is the MCU movie that I've watched most recently because we watched it at the cottage. when
cottage,
we were
yeah.
up there for New Year's.
I like Civil
And-
War a lot.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it in S, though.
Oh man, but the moral like aspect of it all, and like deciding whether or not to sign the bill in, you know, and
Does
just
it
like
suffer the same
Black
thing
Panther
as
is
it
in
being-
this.
That's true.
It is his
Black
intro
Panther.
movie. It's the intro
Hello?
movie, yeah.
Is it
Hello?
another set-up movie? Because arguably they're all set-up movies.
If you think about it, yeah.
I really like how they decided to grapple with the damage that superheroes cause
Yeah.
when they do their thing.
The
It's an
whole
interesting-
Sokovia
What that
Accords,
means.
yeah.
It's an interesting political intrigue when you think about a team like this existing, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's kind of interesting to talk about this right now, where it's like, if Avengers were real, I would want them to be government controlled somehow. Because I don't want these superpowered individuals just doing whatever the fuck they
Have
want.
free reign.
That's one line from
'Cause,
being
like,
a
of
team of
course-
evil
Because if you
superheroes.
Because,
have
like, of
that,
course
then
it
you-
works out right now, while that we have, like, Captain America, who is, like, just, like, the most morally straight arrow that ever existed, but, like, who's to say that some other person won't come around at some point and fuck it
Yeah.
up and be a total
Right.
dictator, awful person? Superheroes can overthrow the government in a heartbeat if they really wanted to.
If they really wanted to,
They're powerful
yeah.
enough. Like, you know, like, you would want them to be under some sort of control.
You don't control superheroes. Then
But at
you-
the same time,
you
I
have
don't
the
trust the
Amazon
government.
Show, The Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, shout out to The Boys. If you guys have Amazon Prime, go watch The Boys. The Boys is super good.
I have very limited knowledge on that show.
Off topic, of course, but see, okay, but you know what? I want to
I'm
put
okay
it
with
here.
A or S, honestly.
I really want to put it here.
I just think that
I can't think of any reason why not to put it in S to be told.
because the real life situations that it deals with, you know, like what if some superpowered force existed? How would you control that, and what would that mean for you know, the people? Like, just the real world human side that it deals with. I think just makes it.
Okay.
You know, it makes it appeal to.
You know what,
it
Sam?
crosses it over, and it just makes it.
I think I understand. I'll meet you in the middle. I'll put it in S for now.
Okay.
I'll put it in here for now,
Okay.
and we can talk about it later.
Thank you.
What's
I just think it's so much more than just talking about superheroes and like nerd stuff like that. I think it spills out into like an actual real conversation
Yeah.
about right and wrong and morals that we can have. And
Yeah.
I appreciate movies that do that.
It's the one
really
movie
do.
though. This is the Civil War is the MCU movie that featured the most amount of characters like,
Right.
up until this point,
I don't give a fuck.
and
I thought it handled it really well.
It didn't feel overcrowded or anything.
I thought it felt a little bloated, to be honest.
Yeah.
Look, when you think about the airport
Irishman
scene,
felt a little bloated sometimes.
well, so so you think about the airport scene, which is what, like 17 people fighting each other,
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
and it's like it's hard to
Oh,
follow.
it also introduced Spider-Man. Sorry.
Well, that's what I
Yeah.
mean. It's an intro movie for tons of characters, and I think it does a good job of setting up Black Panther for his movie.
Right.
I feel like Spider-Man was almost tacked on.
It was just there because we were like,
I feel like
look what we can do.
I feel like halfway through production they were like, oh fuck, we got Spider-Man. Like, oh my god, like put him in the movie. And then yeah, well, anyway.
Not pivotal to the story. but-
I had a good time with it.
Well, I mean, I still really fucking enjoyed the movie. I just don't know if it's as good as these other movies, which is what I'm grappling with right now.
yeah.
I definitely think it's as good as these movies. I don't think it definitely should not be anywhere
of
below
course
A.
not.
Oh god, no.
No, of course not.
So now this is a decision as to whether or not it belongs in S or A.
I say we leave it in S for now.
Yeah.
And when we do our big at the end, we'll check. We'll go through everything to see if we're still happy, and we can move some stuff around if need be.
Okay.
So what's the next movie?
I mean, I don't need to be convinced that it needs to move, but this is a team effort.
We have the introduction of Benadryl Cucumber.
Oh.
Doctor Strange.
See,
Doctor
this
Strange.
movie, I have not seen the best
Yeah.
parts of this movie.
Really?
Sam was high on her I hate Benedict Cumberbatch so goddamn fucking much train when this movie came out. So she's just like, I don't know. We watched it
Well,
once
no,
and you
and-
fell asleep.
I
like
did.
that was the reason.
Okay. Context. I had worked 6 to 2:30 that day, and
Well,
then Kim was
yeah.
like, "Do you want to watch a movie?" And it was like, it was like
Strange.
kind of a gray, cloudy day. We were sitting in my sunroom at home. I was comfy on the couch, and I had worked a really long shift, very early, very long shift, and I was tired and I fell asleep. I did not fall asleep because of the content of the movie.
Right.
I also don't hate Benedict Cumberbatch anymore.
Not anymore.
Well, at the time.
the super Hulocks ruined him for
Yeah,
me.
That's-
we've
you know
all
what, fair.
grown a little bit. I put it in B.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. I think Doctor Strange
Visually,
amazing for sure.
fucking incredible.
But I just like I think about okay. See, I agree. Visually, it's amazing, but I can't remember anything else about it. I don't think the plot was that memorable.
Mads Mikkelsen.
It's true, and then
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton.
Ejiofor,
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
yeah, him, and you know, yeah. I
Who
mean,
hopefully comes back. I hope his character.
I'm hopeful for the sequel.
Right.
I think the sequel should be like
Bonkers.
turn it up to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I think they did a lot of weird stuff in
Lost
Doctor
its
Strange.
Director, though.
Was that?
It lost its director.
I know, and then it's not going to be as horror influenced anymore.
Who was supposed to direct it?
The guy who did the first one.
Okay.
And it's like, and like, I think given the right tools, because like I get the feeling when I watched Doctor Strange that the director really wanted to make it fucking weird, but Marvel was probably like, oh, it's an introduction to the character, we can't turn people off.
Right.
It's also like it's because it's about Doctor Strange becoming Doctor Strange. It's an origin story.
So you're like, you can't be too weird.
Well, of course, because you don't want, because logically speaking, the character would be like, fuck all this shit,
Right.
Which he almost does,
Right.
So yeah, I think it's a solid B. It's a B plus.
Yeah.
It's as good as these other movies, I would say.
Yep.
What's the next movie, Brad?
Next movie is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
I would also A or B, in my
A or
opinion.
B?
Where do we have
We have Guardians in S right now.
right now?
See, the reason why... Okay, here. I mentioned this earlier when we brought up Guardians.
Remind me again what happens in Guardians 2? What do they
He
have
meets
to
his
do?
dad.
He meets his dad, Kurt Russell.
Right, and the Celestial thing happened. That was fucking weird. I'm down to put it in B just for that shit
Honestly,
alone.
I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
I was excited for this movie when it came out. I saw it.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I had a great time.
It was a strange direction for the series.
Like, it's
though.
so weird. It's so weird because, like, the concept I can get down with, like, realizing that the place that you come from is actually so toxic and terrible and awful. It's like, ooh, me, babe.
Because it's all
But,
about the...
like,
Guardians is
just
about the
the way
family
that-
dynamics and the writing, right?
Yeah, but the way that it was executed, I'm like, this is so fucking
Well,
weird.
fucking Star-Lord and Kurt Russell have, like, a Dragon Ball Z fight at the
Yep.
end, and it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is going on? Like,
Yeah,
this is so
and, like,
weird.
Comes
I just-
Pac-Man.
That's right. He does
I-
become Pac-Man.
I came across a thread on Twitter and I actually like I read an article. Like I did the homework and like read a whole article about who, because I think that's the one where they introduce Mantis, right? That's where they meet
Yeah,
Mantis.
yeah.
And I like read
Oh,
about
yes, I
what
remember.
Mantis
I know
is like
exactly
in the
what you're talking
comics.
about,
And
yeah.
like for anybody who doesn't know, Mantis in the comics has canonically fought Thanos by herself, and it was a tie.
Yeah.
She's an extremely strong character, and they turned her into a dumbass.
It's like a weak... Yeah,
And
especially
it's
because...
annoying to watch. It's annoying
It's
to watch
another- it's
Drax
another-
insult
they're
somebody
all-
who canonically fought Thanos by herself.
Right.
Like,
All the
what the
characters
fuck?
are like
She knows like 3 different kinds of martial arts, like front to back, like learned them. You
Well-
know, like
well, the
do,
thing-
do you have any idea how long that takes? Like, fuck.
Well, I saw a lot of people in the Asian community talking about Mantis when it first came out, because there's a big thing in like AAA big budget Hollywood films where Asian characters, especially Asian women characters, are depicted as these like petite, very delicate,
Yeah.
like almost submissive
Yeah.
character, and that's what Mantis
I would
is.
argue
Yeah.
submissive. I wouldn't even say almost submissive. I would say
Yep.
submissive.
Like completely submissive.
Yeah, everything happens to them.
Yeah. So okay, I brought up earlier when
Which is
I
like not my sole reason for lowering it so low. It is also like I think the way that they handled like the Peter Quill's dad, Quill's dad is weird. But
yeah, because Ego, the living planet, which is a real he actually is a planet. And he turned out to be kind of weird. Well, the reason why I was talking about when I brought up the first one, I originally had Guardians down here, and we moved it up because I was like, I don't think that the second one is better than the first one.
No.
So I mean, I'm fine with keeping Guardians up here. I like this spot.
yeah.
Honest to God, like B
Yeah, I'll
or
keep it
B or
there.
even C.
going back to what I said about the first one with the soundtrack. I actually almost think that the soundtrack in 2 is better.
Better. Interesting.
It's got Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, never heard of them.
Is that the chain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got ELO, Electric Light Orchestra.
Okay.
Cat Stevens at the end of the movie.
Okay.
Which
Well
arguably
World?
that's almost the best. I don't want to say the best ending ever, but like with Yondu sacrificing himself.
Yes.
And
Oh
everything.
yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I forgot
Yondu has
about
more
all
of a role in
that.
this one, which
Forgot about all
love
that.
Michael Rooker, but
No, Michael Rooker's great.
Right.
He's good in the role too. Okay, I'm fine with B for
Let's
now.
leave it at B.
We'll leave it at B for
Yeah.
now, and we'll see what's
Yeah.
up.
We'll say that the
Didn't give me
weird
the same
dad thing
feeling as
knocks
the
it down
first
a peg, but
Yeah.
like it's overall it's pretty solid.
What about the second one, or the next movie, Brad?
Spider-Man.
Oh, Homecoming, first one.
Well, this one's great. I say A at least.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
A.
Yeah.
Go A.
I think Spider-Man: Homecoming is a lot of fun because it really fleshes out Peter and Tony's relationship, and it sets up for all that shit that happens later. I also think it's a lot like Ant-Man, so I'm glad that we put it next to each other because Ant-Man and Spider-Man are the same tone of movie. Where it's a fun
Yeah.
little adventure.
Right.
It doesn't like Spider-Man is not fighting a celestial god. He's not
Yeah.
fighting a fucking dragon.
As
you
of
know.
this point, he's not worried. He doesn't know about Thanos.
Yeah,
Still, I don't think.
at all.
Right.
You
No,
know,
no,
so
none of them
he's
do.
just kind of like
Except for Tony.
he's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Timeline-wise, this takes place a little bit after Civil War.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Because it starts off with Peter doing his little vlog.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
Right.
Yeah, and it's so cute. They nailed the like high school superhero dynamic of today.
Yes.
Like what if Peter,
Like Gen Z.
when he was in grade 12 in
Yeah.
the comic books, had a fucking smartphone?
Yeah.
Like what would that be like, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and then it also one of my favorite things that these Spider-Man movies, this one in particular, did is that they updated a really boring Spider-Man villain and made him super interesting.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I will never forget the scene when Peter goes to his girlfriend's house for prom and fucking Vulture opens the door.
Yeah.
And everyone in the theater was like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, I was like, I saw that.
An audible gasp
No,
in the
no.
theater.
I saw that and I was like, mixed kids.
And it makes sense.
Zendaya.
Yes.
But no, it's Lauren Harrier, isn't it?
I think that's what I shouted when that happened.
The girlfriend, he doesn't take Zendaya to the prom in the first one.
No, you're right. I'm sorry.
It's
Yeah.
I think her name is Laura
I
Harriet?
don't know the actress's name.
She's really
She's
pretty.
like the popular girl in school.
Yeah, and then she moves away and you never see her again. Because her dad goes to jail
dad
forever.
Is Vulture, yeah.
Well, now Vulture is going to be in Morbius, which is going to be like, I don't
Yeah,
know. That's
yeah,
kind of
that's
weird,
cool.
but whatever.
Oh, God,
Okay, I feel
that was
really, really stupid right now. Who plays Vulture? What's his name?
Oh,
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
That's it. I knew
yeah,
it was
Michael
Michael.
Keaton.
I'm so
Yeah.
Batman.
I felt so fucking
oh man,
bad.
I just realized he's been a hero and a villain in two
Yes.
different
Oh, yeah.
cinematic universes. That's cool.
Yeah.
God, I feel like an idiot forgetting.
Oh,
Michael
shush. She'll be
Keaton.
fine.
No, you know, I always confuse Keaton and Kane,
That's exactly what I was
and
doing in my
then
head.
like
Michael Caine's
face-wise-
Vulture.
face-wise,
Welcome to my home, Spider-Man.
Face-wise, I confuse him with another like white,
Michael.
like
Beetlejuice.
no, another white dude. Right, he was also Beetlejuice.
Right.
Too. Yeah, I confuse him with another like white actor in the same age group as him. I forget which one it is right now, but like yeah, I confuse him with two different people, so don't feel bad.
Yeah, okay. Cool. But we're happy with Spider-Man being an A?
I am, yeah,
Oh, it's me too. Me too.
yeah, me too.
What's the next movie, Brad?
Thor Ragnarok.
I think Thor
Pop it up,
Ragnarok is
just
S
pop it
tier.
right up in that top.
You
Yeah.
think it's
yeah.
S?
Yeah, I love Thor Ragnarok.
Because I remember,
Yeah.
I do remember people praising it when it came out. It was like, okay, this is the best. It's
It's the best Thor movie.
It's the best Thor.
100% the best
Right.
Thor movie.
Because all thanks to Taika Waititi.
Well, because
Yeah.
who knew that when you let Thor have fun and be a fun character,
That
it's
it's gonna be a fucking
so
fun movie.
enjoyable.
He's a dumb himbo. Of course, it should be fun. Like
Well,
whoever thought that it should be this like serious Norse like
Yeah.
mythological.
It's the first Thor movie that really encapsulates the spirit of the comics, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because Thor is like, he's kind of like, yes, he's hundreds of years old, but he's sort of like a teenager in a way.
yeah, he's perpetually young.
You should let
He's
someone this
young-spirited.
powerful and this immature have fun. Because that's how that works.
Right.
Absolutely.
And then Chris Hemsworth is also a really good, great comedic actor.
Yes.
He's really quick and hop
He's
on his feet.
very
He's a very
funny.
clever guy.
Yeah, he's
He
very
works
witty.
really great. Like Thor and Loki's relationship, in my opinion, is the strongest in this movie.
In this, absolutely it is.
For sure. And it introduces Valkyrie, and everybody likes Valkyrie. You get Jeff Goldblum.
By icon Valkyrie.
Yeah,
Thompson.
by icon.
Ooh.
Captain Marvel's girlfriend,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valkyrie.
Officially, unofficially.
Yeah, that's a ship. I ship it. I ship it.
I'm okay
Oof,
with that.
I'm
But,
into it.
and
I'm
then
into it.
Jeff Goldblum, fucking love Jeff Goldblum.
As the guy, he was so funny.
As the guy.
The
I
guy.
don't remember his name.
Fucking like Hulk is just hanging out on this planet.
Yeah, there's
like,
Hulk's in this movie.
He's
That's
a
'cause-
WWE wrestler this whole time. Like,
This is where you
Seriously.
find out what happened to Falcon. I'm sure you're just about to say
To
that.
I was about to say that.
Falk.
Go ahead.
Falk.
That's their
Falk.
ship name.
Falk.
yeah.
Hulk. Yeah, you get to find out what happened to Hulk at the end of Avengers 2.
Yeah.
You literally haven't seen him
Yeah,
since.
ever since he escaped with the Quinjet.
It's fucking crazy.
What a
Wow, you remember the name of what he flew.
Yeah, man. The
You know why I
Quinjet?
remember it?
Why?
Because the Quinjet is Wakandan technology, bitch.
Wakanda forever.
Is it?
Wakanda forever. It is, yeah.
When do they talk about that?
I think it's in the comics. It's not so much in the
Oh,
MCU.
okay.
But
Listen,
yeah.
they've had the Quinjet since like the first Avengers.
Yeah, but it's Wakandan technology.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, like I can certainly see how it would have been improved by Wakanda technology, but then visually speaking, I think Thor Ragnarok is just a gorgeous movie. Like
Yes,
it's like
yeah.
watching the best video game movie you can make.
Yeah.
Because like it's just so every hit feels. Oh, Hela, who fucking forget about Hela?
Hela is such an underrated villain.
Absolutely.
I feel, and it's like everyone was like,
I don't think they used her to her full potential.
Me neither.
They could have had the
No.
whole, because in the comics, because she's the embodiment of death and whatever. They could have, and Death and Thanos have like a thing.
Yeah.
Thanos
Oh,
loves-
that's right. Because
he has, like, a
he's
crush on
married.
Death.
Yeah, they get
There's
married.
a
in the
hard on
comics.
for her.
Yeah.
He's married to
I
death.
would put Hela up there with Eric Killmonger as best MCU villains.
I think that Hela.
because of just the motivation that she has for wanting to do what she does. You know, she basically got like shunted into like the nether realms, like what is essentially what is Hades' rule? The underworld. She's like shunned to the underworld
Yeah.
for like not being blonde haired and blue eyed.
I think
and,
that,
and a girl.
I
And
think
she
that
comes
Hela-
back and it's
For
like
having different like viewpoints on life as a
other than
opposed to
Odin. And
Yeah.
it's like
You know,
fuck
God
you.
King.
I don't care if you're my family. I'm gonna come up and kill you all because like you just like. And then Loki is kind of like, you know what? I'm like this close to letting it happen.
Yeah.
I might. I've been through a lot with this family, but I might just let this happen.
There was a lot of character development for Thor.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. Realizing what his father did. I love it for that. I really,
he's like,
really
oh,
do.
I don't have the hammer, and it's like, but you don't need the hammer.
Yeah. You know, you never needed
Because
that.
Anthony Hopkins makes the joke. He's like, oh no, is that?
No, it's
that's
Anthony
it.
Hopkins.
Yeah. He
He
basically
are you
tells
the
him
god
it.
of hammers? No,
Yeah.
You're the god of lightning, so
Yeah.
use your fucking lightning.
I think that's great, man. Like, and I also, I personally think that Hela could have been a phase villain. She could have been the villain in an Avengers
Oh my
movie.
god! It also birthed that great meme that I can't, but he can meme.
right.
You know?
I don't think I
It's
know
like,
what you're
no
talking
one
about.
can stop me.
the end,
and then
yeah.
like Thor goes, I can't, but he can.
And it's like
then,
it's the big
That's
fire
like
guy.
Surtur or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Surtur. That's it. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that in S tier. I think it's
Yeah.
one of my favorite Marvel movies.
It's it's
You know,
it's a standout.
Again, I don't think
It
that's an
stands
unpopular
out.
opinion.
Even if you don't remember like the
There are a lot
details
of
of
people
it,
that think
it stands
it's like
out.
not. There are people that think that it is like the best Thor movie,
Mm-hmm.
but then Marvel movie, I've seen a lot of people be like, you know
Yeah.
what, it's
I would say it's as good as Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah.
I mean, tonally they're
I had
very
more fun with
similar.
That one, yeah.
But yeah, I would say like they're equal, or if not equal, close. What's the next movie, Brad?
We have Sam's favorite,
Black Panther.
Black Panther.
I mean, I'm gonna put it in S. Jesus Christ, such a
And here
fucking
she goes
baby. I
immediately.
swear to God. Oh my God.
Do we need to discuss this one at all? Like
Well,
we did for
Culturally significant, a milestone in filmmaking, costume design out the
Yep.
wazoo, a story for the ages.
A Best
Yep.
Picture nomination.
I'm
Best Picture
black,
nomination,
and
yep.
I love this movie.
I think
it's just a good movie.
It's wasn't it the first comic book to get like a nomination for Best Picture?
the first and only comic book movie
yeah.
to get a Best Picture nomination.
No, not only
What else got it?
Joker now.
Oh, whatever.
Anyways, wrong franchise.
Say.
So okay, and let me finish my damn thought before you rip my fucking head off, because I am complimenting your favorite movie. So I think what's great about Black Panther is that if somehow you were to strip away all of the things, like you were to strip away like what made it culturally significant, all those other things that people like about it, even still, you have one of the best written MCU movies ever, in my opinion. And then you have all this other shit on top of it, which just makes it better. I really like Black Panther. We watched Black Panther recently, and it was a fucking great time.
I mean,
Oh,
like
absolutely.
that's the thing of the thing, right? Like that's what I love so much about black people is because like this movie stands to prove that if you just let black people run their own shit and you don't try and pull some bullshit with like, oh, but there's gotta be like one white guy on the
They had their token white guy.
you know, in the cast, yeah, but I'm talking about like behind the scenes, you know, like
Right.
writing, producing, costume designing, something like that. If you just let black people do their own thing when it comes to their own culture, they'll make you so much fucking money, and
Yeah, really.
they'll not only will they give you a good movie that like social justice wise like people love, but they'll just give you good quality
Just
content.
a good movie that
And I think it
everyone
also
loves.
you know, it paved the way for, you know, just other races to
Mm-hmm.
control their own content that has to do with their own culture.
Here's
you
hoping
know?
that Shang-Chi is
I was
like
about to say, yeah,
like
I
the
feel
big
like,
I think
one.
we're
we're
gonna
getting
see-
Shang-Chi because we have Black Panther.
I agree.
It was a groundbreaker and a trailblazer at the same time, and it's just
no, hey. Have your moment.
Yeah. I mean, I remember walking out of Black Panther and like really enjoying it.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
Like, it just, you know, it's almost, and I said this at the time, and like, I don't know if I 100% agree with this, but it's almost Shakespearean in its writing, because you get to see the fall of a king due to his own hubris,
Absolutely.
and then the rising back up. The only thing that doesn't make it Shakespearean is that it's a happy ending.
Yeah.
A happy ending.
Well, yeah.
You know, unfortunately, it's not happy for everybody.
Not for
Not for
Eric.
Killmonger.
Not for Eric. Nope.
Do you guys want to stop doing this and watch Black Panther right now?
Well, we have 5 more movies, so maybe we'll watch Black Panther after.
It's
So,
everything. It's everything.
Book
you
open,
know?
book shut, S tier Black Panther.
S-tier
Without
Black
question.
Panther.
Everybody's happy with that.
High key.
What's the next movie?
We got Avengers: Infinity War.
I would put I say we do this like this.
Okay.
I think it is my personal opinion.
Yep.
Actually, you know what? Fuck that. I was gonna say that we should talk about both of them at the same time, but I do actually feel different ways about both movies. So let's talk about Infinity War.
Good. I think you should.
Yeah.
I think, you know, like
I take back what I said. I don't think that's a good idea.
no, I think whatever. It doesn't super matter, but like I think hype really affected how people consumed these two movies, both Infinity War and Endgame, right at the very beginning, and I think it's worth revisiting and rehaving this conversation and be like, do we actually think that they're as great as we thought that they were?
I think that Avengers: Infinity War is as good as the first one. I would say
The first what?
Avengers.
First Avengers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it's as good. It's
Yeah.
not. It's better than Ultron for sure. See, okay, I think these two movies is what's gonna fuck up our whole list. To be perfectly honest with you,
Honestly, yeah.
because like I think because I don't want to put it in S tier. I really don't. I don't want to put it up there. I would put Infinity War in S tier because I think it's better than Endgame.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
I do think it's better than Endgame.
I think the opposite, but we'll get there.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Brad, you would put Infinity War in A and Endgame in S? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay. Well, how about we? Okay, so Let's talk about why we feel this way.
At the time when Infinity War came out, if we were doing this then, it's an S.
S.
Mm.
Because you haven't seen Endgame at that
Right,
point.
and then I saw Endgame and I went,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And it topped it for you.
My favorite part of Infinity War, and this is not an unpopular opinion. My favorite part of Infinity War is that you have this 10 fucking year build up.
Mm-hmm.
You have all these heroes, all these characters, all these stories,
Mm-hmm.
all these triumphs, and they fucking lose.
Yep.
They fucking lose
Yep.
at the end of the movie. I remember you turning to me at the end of the movie, Sam, and being like, "What? That's the end of the movie?"
That was literally when I saw it, because I saw it with Emily and some of Emily's friends, and that was the exact same thing. Everyone was like, "Oh,
Like, what? You have to understand, for a money-making movie franchise like the MCU, Disney wants people to feel good leaving their movies. No matter in any movie, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
They took such a bold choice
Yeah.
and such
In
a
ending it
crazy
that way.
risk in having this fucking tentpole movie.
Yeah.
People have been waiting a fucking decade for to have all
See
of their
them
heroes
lose.
lose
Yeah.
and half of your favorite characters die.
Yeah.
right."
Two of them or a few of them die forever.
Yeah.
There's some that didn't even come back.
Vision
Like-
and
Black Widow and Gamora, the original Gamora.
no, they come back.
The original Gamora is dead, dude.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
but
No,
regardless,
Vision's gone.
Wait,
forever.
Black Widow doesn't bite it until Endgame.
Endgame. Right. But I'm saying, like, at the end of all this, even when they did come back, like, there are characters that stayed dead. And I think that is such a bold choice for a series like
Yeah,
this.
no, because it's funny that you bring up my reaction to it because, well, for starters,
You didn't know it was two movies.
I didn't know it was two movies, which is all the nerds are going like, "Oh, what?"
When
but
did you
like,
find that out?
I literally found it out like when the credits
in the
rolled
theater.
In the
yeah.
theater,
I turned to her, I was like, no.
Hello?
I was like, no, the
didn't
next part's
know.
coming out next year.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
I knew from like production.
I had no idea. I genuinely didn't.
Okay.
I don't.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm really bad at I was really bad throughout
There was
all
a
the
lot of
MCU.
people I've
I
never
didn't even
seen-
I didn't even clue in that it was a universe until like Avengers came and I was like, oh, they're really
Like,
wow. Oh, they're really doing this. This isn't just a bunch of sequels. They're like building up to something. Oh wow.
well,
Oh,
all right.
wow. Okay.
So,
I saw all going back to the Iron Man and all the first
Yeah.
movies of them. I didn't see those at least. I remember seeing Iron Man, but like Hulk, Thor, Captain
Yeah.
America. I didn't see those until after the Avengers.
right.
Okay.
I was like, oh, okay, maybe I should watch these.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I don't know. It's just like, you know what it is that boys talk about this shit so much around me
You sort of pick it
that
up.
I don't really look into it after because you talk about it so much around me. I just glean whatever I can from that, and then I don't know. Life goes on. I read other shit. I have a fucking job.
I'm cultured.
I have a goddamn life.
I'm smart.
I have other shit. I have other
I'm
shit.
aware. I'm woke.
I have other stuff that I want
I
to.
am woke.
I have other stuff that I want to read about. So like I don't boys just teach me everything about comic books. It's just sort of the way. It's not necessarily the most feminist answer, but like it's just
Wow.
sort of the way that it happened. So yeah, I didn't know that there was going to be two movies until I turned around and I was like I genuinely thought that they had lost
Yeah.
and that was the end of the MCU. It
That'd
was just
be
going to end with a loss.
fucking crazy.
I
That
was
would have been
like-
fucking bonkers.
Listen, like the stone that was in the pit of my stomach at the end of that movie was like nothing I have ever felt before
Right.
in my life.
See, here's what I'm grappling with. I think that Infinity War is better than Ant-Man and Spider-Man. It's as good as these two.
Yep.
So if we put it here, we realistically have to move everything down one. So like this would be here, this would be here, this.
Don't
this,
forget your order
this,
here now.
This, and then this and this.
Right.
So like that's why I think these movies are really gonna fuck this list up.
See, like looking at this now, I'm okay with Thor and Hulk being in C.
Me too.
Just like instinctually, I'm fine with leaving that.
We could keep this in B. Ultron in B.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I think I like
think
this
it
list a
should.
little bit better now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I feel like there was too much. I feel like we were putting too much in like A and B.
We're also. It's worth to say an hour into this video that we're all pretty big Marvel fans. Generally speaking, we like the
No, we
movies.
actually fucking
Ooh, I
hate
just
them
hit the
all.
microphone. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
haven't
sorry.
done that- I haven't
I hit the
done that
mic.
in a while.
I hit the mic. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Okay, sure. Okay, fine. Are we happy with Infinity War being an A
Fine.
I'm
Yeah?
fine with that.
for now?
It was a fantastic movie.
It's not. This isn't
I
permanent.
still
This is
think
not in
it's-
stone.
I still think it's
And
fantastic.
arguably, it's not so much an Avengers movie. It's a movie about Thanos.
It's true.
Yeah.
it's true.
This is Thanos' movie.
Well,
Yeah.
that's it's funny you mentioned that because I remember talking about with the boys when the Infinity War finished. Is you're exactly right. They did no extra fluff for any of like Cap or Iron
Yeah.
Man or any. They didn't have to
They were just there.
because there's fucking 20 movies about all of their
Right,
context.
You go
And you,
watch them.
and you get to learn about Thanos, and I really loved that part of Infinity War.
He's a phenomenal
So
character.
I don't think it's going to stay here. I imagine it moving, but we'll leave it here for now.
I'm actually really comfortable with that being an A, but you're right. We'll revisit
We'll
it.
revisit it.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the next film?
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I think
This was fun.
I think it's as good as Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At the
honestly.
very least. Yeah.
I think the two films work great together.
Yeah.
Like, it also has that sick setup because this was the first movie after Infinity War, and it ended with the snap again.
Yes.
Right.
And it sets up
Yes, where Michelle Pfeiffer and Michael Douglas are snapped away.
And
sets up
Evangeline
Scott being where he is
Yeah.
for Endgame,
Absolutely.
which turned out to be super important.
So, yeah, so key. And I love that Ant-Man became more key because he kind of entered into the universe super late, but I'm glad that they didn't just like little brother him and like
They're
kind of
hey,
like
Scott, you're here too.
I'm glad they didn't like give him the controller that wasn't plugged in so that he
Yeah.
felt like he was a
Totally,
part
totally,
of everything.
totally.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
so I like that. I
Good
like
comedy,
that, I like that.
good dynamics, again, good
Yeah.
CGI, good action.
Yeah.
Where do we have Ant-Man? Do we have Ant-Man and B?
Ant-Man is currently in B, and I think that's all right.
In the reorg that we just did, he got pushed down to B.
Because like I don't think Ant-Man and the Wasp and Ant-Man as well as Spider-Man and Avengers Ultron are as good as the movies we have in A at the moment.
Yeah.
So I don't want to put them on the same level. I don't think that.
And I feel like the villain in Ant-Man and the Wasp was a little bit better than the first Ant-Man.
It's true because the first Ant-Man
Was essentially just evil
Ant-Man. Yeah,
It was just evil Ant-Man.
it's yeah, House of Cards, evil Ant-Man.
Which is what most Marvel movies suffer from. It's just like
I agree.
Like Loki.
I agree.
Loki's evil Thor. Mm-hmm. Killmonger's evil
Black Panther.
Yeah.
In my opinion, though, that's one of the only ones that works the best, though. Killmonger needs to be like Black Panther.
That's true.
Because like
Yeah.
thematically and narrative speaking,
They're also related.
Right.
yeah,
They're blood.
exactly. So them being
Is it
similar, I
cousins?
think,
It's cousins, right?
Yes.
Right.
because Killmonger is his
That's right, because he
first
walks in and he
cousin.
goes, "Hey, auntie."
It'd be
Yeah.
his first
Hey,
cousin.
auntie.
Yeah, killed people. All right.
Man, that movie belongs in S tier just for that line alone.
If there was a
alone.
tier above it, I'd put it above
Just
it.
for
yeah,
Michael
just
B.
for
Jordan.
hey auntie.
I think Captain Marvel's next, or was Endgame
Yes.
first?
Nope, that's correct. Yeah, Captain Marvel is
Captain
next.
Marvel.
So
was in-
Captain Marvel, I think, is going to be interesting.
C. For me.
Yeah, honestly, me too.
Wow, that's so low.
I feel bad because it was like the first female-led Marvel movie. Mm-hmm. I just
think it's okay.
I was like, it was okay.
I think they
B,
did.
B or C for me.
I would put generously. I'd put it into B because I did enjoy the movie. I saw it twice.
Did you?
I obviously liked it.
I only saw it once, and I remember leaving. I've never, because I never saw like Hulk and Iron Man 3 in theaters.
Right.
But like, I think it was basically since Guardians I had seen them all in theaters except for Spider-Man. That one took me a few years. But yeah, I left this one and I was like, okay, yes, I did like that. I haven't
fun,
left
it's fun.
one hating one.
So here's my it's not a problem. I think they fucked up Captain Marvel from a production standpoint. I think Captain Marvel deserves a trilogy of movies. I think she deserves the same amount of development
She's
that
gonna
we
get one.
got,
There is a Captain Marvel 2 coming.
which is great. But I think that because she's such a big player, like she's so pivotal in Endgame, literally is like the most important player in Endgame, and we got one movie with her beforehand.
Right.
I think that sucks.
Yeah.
I think that Carol Danvers is a great character. I thought that we got Captain Marvel was good, but it feels like that movie is trying to do the legwork of a trilogy.
And do you also think that maybe she suffers from like being too OP?
No.
Because there's literally like, oh, she's like unstoppable.
I actually don't agree. I think that her being that powerful is interesting.
Yeah.
Because there's no one as strong as her.
That's true.
And
Not even Thanos.
it puts her on the food chain of the Marvel food chain, right? In terms of characters and their power levels and shit.
Right.
And having a character be that powerful becomes an interesting writing tool if done correctly. And I think that while the movie is fine, I think that she needed more time in the oven. I don't think she got as much development as she deserves.
I do feel like she's in a very unfortunate position because she was the movie before Endgame. So
Right.
everybody is looking forward to Endgame, especially after the way that Infinity War ended.
Yeah.
You're just like, I just want to, you dusted T'Challa. Like,
Yeah.
You fucking dusted everybody's Halloween costume this year.
And
like,
fucking-
Side note, I was actually blown away by that. I was like, oh, they're getting rid of
Yeah.
like all these. Sorry, I just want
No,
Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy,
Like,
man.
yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
he didn't discriminate, but
literally half.
like literally half. But yeah. So I feel like sometimes people have this feeling towards Captain Marvel because of the position that she was in. Because she was the, she was the obstacle in front of the carrot that was dangling in front of you this entire time.
Right. Like people really wanted Endgame.
Yeah.
Well, see,
Yeah, and she's like the obstacle right before Endgame, which is a terrible way of describing that movie because I personally super enjoyed Captain Marvel.
And I did too. I just think it should have been this like See, that's what I really wish they introduced Captain Marvel like 2 phases ago.
Yeah.
There should have been Captain Marvel should have came out when fucking Winter Soldier came out.
I agree.
So we can actually get better development for the character.
I agree, but
But
I
do
don't
you-
think that
do-
impacts how good the movie is. We're here talking about how good the movies are.
See, but I think it does though, because I feel like Captain Marvel has a ton of legwork to make you feel like she's a part of the Avengers. Oh, we got one movie with her. She's introduced as the most powerful character in the MCU, and then now she's a pivotal part and quite possibly one of the reasons they won in Endgame. I can see why people would be upset about that. Because it's not. Let me put my foot down and say that this is not how I think. But I think a lot of people feel like it's a shoehorn. Like it's just like, and Captain Marvel, because she's here now. I would have liked at least 1 or 2
You're
movies.
saying that's not what you think?
I don't agree, because I think that Captain Marvel's position in
Yeah.
Endgame is interesting.
If I may truly play devil's advocate, not in the shitty white boy way, but I think that the introduction of her is interesting in her position in the release canon, because they're sort of saying like, and here's your possibly your most important weapon in defeating Thanos in Endgame. Like, here you go. Just before they're about to go into battle, they get this majorly important war machine of a woman.
Right.
Not
To-
War Machine, but War Machine.
Yeah, not war machine, but
A
war,
war
machine.
machine like woman.
To,
What a woman.
to help your team defeat, because like in Infinity War, it looked like they were like seriously down and out. It's like, how the fuck are they going to do this? Well, it's like,
Right.
let me tell you how they're going to do this. We're going to introduce an entirely
fucking
new.
show you.
We're going to give you a whole new Avenger, super powered Avenger.
The first Avenger,
Yeah,
technically.
the first Avenger.
Yeah.
To like to
And,
help
like,
to help you
way-
out.
The way they did it, because they said they're like, oh, we're not going to do like an origin story, which arguably they didn't, because it was her finding out about her origin
Yeah,
story.
we
Yeah.
learned more. Like, she had a pretty good handle on her
Right,
powers.
it was
Yeah.
already established that like how she got them and whatever, but it was
Yeah.
like her remembering how she did it. So I was like, okay, that was interesting. Granted, yes, we haven't seen.
I think it's a little bit of a cop out.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to do the origin story, and then a good 50% of that movie is an
It
origin
is an
story.
origin story, but she's
So,
remembering it.
yeah, and then that's another thing where it's like,
Fuck
okay,
Jude Law in that movie though too. Fuck
Yeah,
Jude Law.
fuck.
Jude Law's a
him.
bastard. So I think that okay, and let me
Doesn't
like,
make me like Jude Law as a person any
Right.
less
and let me like
or any more.
and
Sorry.
when it comes to Captain Marvel, I think in her own movie, like they did a better job showcasing what Captain Marvel is actually capable of in Endgame,
Yeah.
because she's like fully power, like basically a fucking Super Saiyan,
Yeah,
shooting
there's
beams.
that great line where she's like, "I realized I've been fighting with one hand tied behind my back this whole time."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then but the thing is, though, I wish they would have went to that place in Captain Marvel. I feel like she still was kind of like, well, the action was interesting. It was kind of subdued. Like she just like it didn't feel like Carol Danvers blasting through a spaceship and then grabbing the remains and fucking Bowser spinning them into the sun, like what she's capable of. Like they did that later. I wish they did that in the first movie and then turned it up to 10 in Endgame.
It did do a thing as well where it took like where you were saying with Mantis, where it's like in the comics, it's this character that has like so much more
Yeah.
power and gravitas and whatever, and then just kind
Just,
of
like, waters her
slid it.
down.
The Skrulls,
Yeah.
in the comic, the Skrulls
Yeah.
are like a force to not be reckoned with.
No,
like,
Skrulls are fucked up.
right.
Yeah.
They're yeah, and it's like they're just kind of goofy little
Yeah.
green guys
Yeah.
in this movie.
That's another. Yeah.
Right,
I didn't really
right.
like the Skrulls in
Right.
Captain Marvel. It turned them into a joke.
Ben Mendelsohn.
Yeah, he was.
Anyways.
The
I
joke
liked
was
them.
funny, but
I liked them.
so okay. How about this, guys?
That's the other thing
think-
too. I appreciated the turnaround of like who you think is the villain is not really the villain. They're actually the ally,
It
and
was
they've
setting
been
it up like, oh, the
Yeah.
Skrulls, and it was like, nope.
Yeah.
And considering I mean, like comics are extremely zeitgeisty, and we have a problem right now in our current society of like villainizing people who aren't actually the villains. When
True,
we really need
yeah.
to look
Right.
at who is telling us to villainize that person, and I appreciated the commentary on that from that perspective.
I think-
really liked it.
That Captain Marvel is as good as these movies here.
We're looking at
Are you going to you put it in her an A?
I'd put it in B,
Okay.
a strong B. If there was a B plus, I'd put it there.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. What do you think, Sam?
what do we have in A? We have Winter Soldier, First Avengers, and
No, this is A is that's Captain America 1.
oh, this is the first Captain America.
Captain America 1, Avengers 1, and Infinity War.
Only 3.
Yeah. Good movies though.
Yeah, I mean, like in the context of this like
I think it's better than these movies.
I was gonna say in the context
That's
of
for
this
fucking
list
sure.
and how we've built it here, I don't want to say that Captain Marvel is like as good as Infinity War, and the first Captain America and stuff like that. but well,
Okay, how about okay?
I would put. You know what? I would put Captain Marvel up there with the first Captain America in my heart.
Okay, how about
But when I'm looking at it next to like Ant-Man and the Wasp, Age of Ultron, Homecoming, like
it's definitely as good as these 3 movies.
it definitely is as good as all of the movies in that category, and as good as 2 out of the 3 in the A category right now. And I think 2 out of 3 ain't bad, personally. Like I think that's that's more than half. So
I guess it's just like I don't know, man.
2/3 is more than half. So
you would want her to be here?
my girl power instincts are saying A. Yeah, they are. But I think I'm out. I don't appreciate how I'm outnumbered, so I'm like, I'm trying to see if I can maybe like compromise, be a team player here, but I want to stick with my instincts and put her in A.
You said if there was like a B+, then yeah.
Like
Yeah.
here's what okay, so once we have all of the rankings, I say we do this. We go through every tier and rank them in the tier.
Okay.
So like we'll do that in a minute.
Okay.
So how about this? We'll leave Captain America here. Captain America, I'll be all right. Captain Marvel here.
I keep wanting to say Miss Marvel.
I know,
That's
yeah.
a totally
That's
different
someone
one
else
too.
as well, yeah.
I'll leave her here
Just as badass
for
in my
now.
opinion.
And in the referendum when we come back,
Okay.
she might move.
That is, I think that I really don't argue with too much on this list. I think that's going to be my only catalyst.
All right.
But yeah, let's move on.
You know what? That'll be interesting. We'll
Yeah,
get there. We'll
let's
get
move
there.
on.
Next is Endgame.
Man, I just think it's legendary.
That's an emotional ride, that one.
It is.
It's an emotional ride.
It also has a Fortnite advertisement halfway through.
Oh, shut up.
and it's way too long. Like they could have easily shaved down some of that movie. It's 3 hours.
It's going to be dated in like 3 years.
Well, it's dated now.
That's
Like
true.
when
it was dated when it came out.
when I watched, there's a part where Hulk dabs
Yep.
and
Right.
Fortnite is in the movie.
Right.
Dabbing
like-
was already outdated by the time he dabbed
Both of those
in,
things were
in
like
Endgame, though.
Fortnite even arguably now is still kind of like
Well,
popular.
it's super popular for
It was
sure.
like the like joke behind it was
Yeah.
dated when the movie.
Yeah.
At the time they filmed it,
but
go nuts.
I
Yeah,
love.
but by the time it was released, outdated.
I love Thor's narrative.
Mm-hmm.
I like how he becomes like a loser and he has to come out of that.
Yep.
I like how Cap and Iron Man's narratives end. I think it was such a super strong ending.
Mm-hmm.
It had quite possibly the best action sequence in any of these movies.
Oh, absolutely.
The fucking
Avengers.
the assemble scene.
Assemble.
I love how he goes.
That I pictured it in my head and I got chills.
Yeah.
I still get chills.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, man. I mean, I okay. Here, how about this? I would put Endgame here, but Infinity War goes up here. Because they're not. I think. I'm sorry, guys. I really think that Infinity War is better than Endgame. Endgame
Is it just because of the ending?
of Infinity War, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, but I also think that Infinity War is a better paced movie. I think Infinity War, Infinity War is a 2.5 long action sequence.
I could see that.
And you just get through it and it's widely entertaining. I
see
think
that.
there's parts of Endgame that teeter on a little bit boring.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's just a little too long.
Yeah.
Like there's I maybe I'm getting stuck on this, but like I really thought the whole like Fortnite scene was like
Is that the only thing that's like keeping it in this A category for you here? It's just like simply because of the Fortnite.
If it didn't
joke?
have Fortnite, it's beyond S tier.
Well, yeah, but put an S plus. No, it's not even just Fortnite. It's also like they do like they recycle the fucking Thanos Gamora scene with Hawkeye and Black Widow
Yeah.
with the same music,
Yep.
the same pacing,
Yep.
the same fucking lines. Like some of the lines are identical,
And the same outcome: a woman dies.
and it's fucking. I think that is so cheap. I'm sorry, that is so fucking cheap.
I wanted. Okay.
It cheapens both Black Widow's death and Gamora's death,
Right.
in my opinion.
Right.
I didn't like how Black Widow got all depressed in Endgame and like wanted to die by the end of it. I think that was really like I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, I
Well,
see.
I don't know. I just didn't think that Black Widow would do that.
And going ahead
I can see how she'd be tired of this shit, but like want to die? I don't think so.
Going ahead into the future with the new Black Widow movie coming out, with the new one.
Yeah.
It's centering around like her family, like the
Right,
Yeah.
right.
It's biological or what.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the people
yeah.
that
But
she
then
came
her
up with in the
struggle
academy or
Infinity War is
whatever.
that she goes, "Oh, I finally found like my family,"
Your actual family.
and
Yeah.
it's like,
Wait a
So
minute.
what about
it's
these
it's
lumps?
a character. Yeah, it's a
What
character
about these
sacrificing
lumps?
herself.
What
What about
Right,
David
right,
Harbour?
What about David
What the
Harbour?
hell?
What about David Harbour?
David Harbour?
Oh, Russian David Harbour.
The
I love poor David Harbour, man. He got
He's
ripped
a
for
fun little
Hellboy,
boy.
and now he's gonna get fat
and they
for.
make a fat joke
Yeah,
in the trailer.
hilarious. Oh, so funny.
Amazing.
So yeah, so
Make fun of the fat man.
I think Endgame is fucking great. I think it's a great tentpole ending to the
I
Infinity
think A
Saga.
is a good spot for it.
But I think A is the perfect spot for it, in my opinion. Actually,
I'm down with that.
talk to me, boys and girls. Like, you don't agree? Let's talk it out.
I mean, like, as far as, like, wrapping up 10 years of cinematic story building, I think that it's a fantastic movie. But what you say is wrong with it. Like, you raise a good point. I feel like I've been saying that a lot. I genuinely didn't really have any problems with
No, I have no
Endgame.
problems.
I'm not super picky, and I'm also very picky at the same time, and like nitpicky about things. But I felt on board and along for the ride the entire time. You know, it truly felt like I was on the most enjoyable roller coaster with just enough loop-de-loops to make me feel thrilled, but not make me feel uncomfortable.
Right. And
Yeah.
I am thinking about it more. You're saying, like, the pacing of Infinity War was good.
It's fantastic.
Right. My thing as well, it was Endgame. The whole movie, in a way, fan service.
It's true.
Is that a bad thing? Because, like, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
It's been 10
I
years of
don't
you
think it's a
doing
bad
whatever the
thing.
fuck you want.
Right.
Give me what I want.
it's just like the story is just like, well, let's go back because it's like
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
time travel.
It's like the
remember
fucking.
Battle of New York. Remember Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah.
Remember the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's the clip episode.
Right.
Of the MCU.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So okay, so here's what I say from a macro sense. I think that, and this is why my original point we're gonna talk about Infinity War, and Endgame at the same time is because I think that they're pretty much equally good.
Right.
But I think in
One is better
the
than
sake of this video, if we're bringing out the fine tooth comb, if we're bringing out the magnifying glass, it's like right here, Infinity War, Endgame.
Yep.
Sorry, you got it. You're
Infinity War,
I only got a side view of you.
Endgame.
Like they're very close
Like
together.
I think if you zoom
like,
out,
Endgame is below, but like just that.
if you zoom out,
Just.
they're the same. If you get real close, Infinity War's a little bit better,
okay.
in my humble opinion.
You know what? Fair.
Because guys, listen.
No, like
I'm a fan of these movies.
Infinity War is just like
I liked Infinity War like no other Marvel movie.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my fucking god.
yeah.
I can't believe that happened. Like when I left Endgame, I felt like almost like a sense of like I was full of really good food. I was like, that was good. That was fun.
Satisfied.
I feel satisfied. Now they can just stop making these fucking movies. Of course they're not, but but they could. They could.
Right.
So-
it could have been the end
Of
it
everything.
all.
They
Of
could
it.
they could have just cut
And you
their
would've been
losses.
like, all right.
They could have just been we're done.
Yep.
And that I think deserves it in the A. If there was an A plus, I'd put it in the A plus.
Yeah.
It's like a Captain Marvel situation right now.
Right. Like, I sometimes when I get stuck as we've been doing this video, I think about it in the context of grades.
Yeah.
And you know, A is like not only did you understand the concept, but you went above and beyond. B is you understood the concept and I'm satisfied with what you've demonstrated. C is you understand the concept, nothing more, nothing less. D is you didn't get it, and like F is like,
Yeah.
did you even try? Like what the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
So
There's no F.
I think that you know, Endgame exceeded expectations.
It did.
But
Yeah.
I just think Infinity War has that extra like X factor that
Yeah.
puts it up in the S.
Yeah.
You've persuaded me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, guys,
Hang on.
We gotta do Far From Home.
one last movie. That was what I was gonna say.
Sorry.
Man, I'd be down to put this in like B or C to be
That's
perfectly
exactly what I was
honest.
gonna say. I like it more.
Let's see.
It's a fun movie. I like it
I don't
more.
think it's better than Homecoming.
No. God no.
Really.
No.
I don't think so.
Not even a little bit.
I don't think so.
But for Peter's character.
The growth of a character isn't enough to save the movie, in my
Really?
opinion.
Yeah.
Because like I thought the comedy didn't work as well.
and it sucks
in
because
Far
I
From
do
Home.
like the villain. I do like Mysterio.
Jake
Also,
Gyllenhaal's-
Jake Gyllenhaal.
It's not even just Jake. It's not even.
Sorry.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jello.
Sorry, and then like, doesn't he have a sister?
Yeah, it's a Magoo Galagalos.
Magagi. But sorry, I kicked your hand. No, I didn't think the comedy worked as well in Far From Home. It also
Yeah.
felt felt like a high school rom-com movie.
Oh God, that whole
I get it.
subplot,
That's the point. Like, I get
that
it.
whole subplot with his best friend dating that girl was so insufferable. Like at first I was like,
You got a problem with Ned?
At first I was like, this is cute because it reminds me of when, my friends, because I was perpetually single throughout most of high school, and like my friends would get into relationships and then go off and be disgusting, and I would get so annoyed, and I was like, oh, I totally feel for Peter in this sense. And then I was like, I'm not just annoyed because I want to be annoyed. I'm annoyed because I hate this.
Because you are annoyed.
I don't
Yeah.
want this here, and I don't like it.
It kind of felt. I get why it's the prologue, or the epilogue.
Epilogue, yeah.
Yeah.
I get why it's the epilogue because they wanted you to have a little palate cleanser of all this crazy high fucking octane
Watching your two faves die.
die
Well,
on
that's the other
screen.
thing too, is that I'm perfectly fine with that ending.
I actually here's a controversial
Call me a
opinion.
Capricorn, but like I don't need an epilogue to patting my little head to
Yeah,
make me feel
yeah.
better
Well,
about the ending.
you survived
I'm
these
fine.
movies.
Here's
I'm a
the thing.
big girl. I had my big girl panties on, and I went and saw Endgame, and I dealt with it.
I only shit my pants once during the movie. It was great.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the thing with Far From Home. I actually think the heroization of Iron Man represented in that movie
Yep.
is too much.
yes.
It's way too much.
Yes.
It was more banking on how, like, we
Yeah.
viewed it.
I think it's a realistic reaction to have shit like, okay, things that I thought were
Why
great.
are you so sad about a rich man dying?
Well, that's not the point. Like, I
I
get.
know I'm being obtuse.
Yeah, so, okay, fine. Things that I thought were great. When he turns on the airplane, and there's like a fucking documentary about it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
totally realistic.
Yeah.
Right.
Going to the
absolutely.
classroom where every single fucking kid has drawn a picture of Iron Man.
That's a little-
That's too much. It doesn't
Yeah.
feel
The
realistic.
graffiti of him
I
literally everywhere.
did like that there were consequences to the snap.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How some people were older.
Yeah.
Like that one douchebag
things-
kid.
That was
Yeah.
a question where
Like
it was
things
like,
were
well,
disjointed
what-
and uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah, I appreciated that. I think that was a good handling. I mean, that's just good time travel writing, Like you get snapped away into this like alternate universe or whatever. Like shit's gonna
You're
happen
gone
to
for
you.
4 or 5 years,
and then
you
you
come
get
back,
and
what
then
happens?
Yeah.
and then you come back and it's like, oh well, I had just adjusted to that different world that I was in,
and now
I have
everything
to.
is back to normal.
It's mental whiplash. It's awful, and I appreciated the fact that there were consequences to that we saw.
And it set up things that they could utilize. They didn't, but they could with the whole, and I mean, like everyone hinting at it, where it was like, "Oh, Mysterio's from another dimension." It's
Oh,
like,
the
that makes
multiverse.
sense. And you're like, "Oh, sick! They're gonna set up." No,
No, it was a
they
total
didn't
lie.
set it up in this movie.
They're gonna set it up in
Doctor Strange.
Multiverse of Madness.
Right.
Yeah, I guess so. So
Slash the Wanda show.
our good buddy, I'm really excited for that.
So-
That's really, so our good buddy Redacted, has pointed out something that he didn't like about the movie.
Okay.
He, even though he thought it was cool the way Mysterio did his illusions,
Yep.
the idea of invisible drones projecting tangible 3D illusions in the form of these like special effects
Yep.
is actually too far-fetched for the MCU. It reaches the unrealistic part of things.
Cut back
It doesn't
to Iron
feel
Man 3 when a guy you said was spewing
breathing fire. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's also why people didn't like that movie, because it was too it felt tonally fucking weird.
Right.
But so I actually thought the drones were super cool. I thought they were really neat.
I liked him.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I didn't feel like. I think far-fetched is too harsh.
Yeah?
I mean, this is a villain whose whole thing is illusions. Like,
True.
like grandiose, like, master of all illusions. Like, of course he's gonna be really good at it.
Yeah.
Of course he's gonna be really good at it.
It's also like it begs the question. Or not
I
sure-
understand why the villain in Iron Man breathing fire is a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that a person whose whole thing is illusions being really fucking good at illusions
Isn't that
I'm
crazy.
grateful for that.
Okay.
He should be good at it. It's his whole shtick.
I also thought the scene, like the sequence, the quote unquote Mysterio sequence, the one that you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, with the mirrors or
And
whatever.
it-
That's almost on
and it-
par
and it
visually
ends-
with Doctor Strange.
And it ends with the train.
Oh, seeing that in 3D was actually so. I was like,
So- I
don't
that's
think
one
I
of
saw it
like
in
2
3D.
times that I was
terms-
grateful I saw something in 3D.
In terms of Mysterio being translated from comics to film, that sequence is like, if I could put that sequence on this list, I'd put it in S tier.
Yes.
Because it was
Absolutely.
awesome.
It
It
was
was,
so good.
so cool.
Oh my God.
So good.
But
That was the most comic book thing that you could do.
Yes.
I really like Mysterio. I like Peter's character arc, but I do think that there's parts of the movie that bog it down and bring it down to C.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Sam said, like Ned's relationship to this girl, which is
Yeah.
which begins and ends in the same movie, and it's
Yeah.
all a big
It's like
joke.
Peter struggling to be like, well, do I want to be like the next Tony Stark.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be.
No,
Yeah.
like that feel that.
Your entire
okay.
character is never.
Is not-
you
Am I
can
the only
totally
one who
afford to
thought?
not.
Am I the only one who thought that was a little bit shunted onto him?
Yeah, 100%.
I didn't feel.
No one expected.
No
it.
one want. I even as a
100%.
fan, like I don't think Spider-Man is the character to take Iron Man's place.
And they weren't really
No.
hinting at it.
That doesn't make any
through
sense
the
to me.
relationship of the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't hinted at Homecoming. It wasn't.
And they really
Peter's
didn't,
smart, but he's not Tony Stark, genius billionaire
And they,
smart.
if you
Just
think about
because,
it,
yeah.
like time wise, they really didn't know each other for that long.
No.
Really
Yeah,
didn't.
they got super
Couple
close
years?
really fast, but like
I think in Homecoming, when he goes to, or no, not Homecoming, Civil War, when he goes to like recruit Peter,
yeah.
he says he's like, oh, I've been like keeping like an eye on you for like a little while because he's
When?
like, because he's
When?
part of the Stark program of something for the high school,
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
and he's like, hey, this kid's a
Okay.
They do mention that. Yeah, I remember that now.
Okay, but they didn't they weren't close. Their whole like the whole thing is that like
They
Tony
grow
Stark-
closer.
I think Peter views Tony as like a mentor,
Definitely.
Oh, that's
And-
it. That's absolutely it.
and realistically speaking, like he hasn't been mentoring him for very long. You know?
He has been mentoring him and doing a good job at it,
That'd be like
but it has been a short amount of time.
That'd be like if Matt and Karen were to die tomorrow and they'd be like, well, do you want to run Greenlight Arts? You're the best person for the job. I'd be like, no, the fuck I am not.
I can think of a lot of other people.
Absolutely
Matt.
the fuck
Karen.
not.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay, good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So
like, I always think about it. I mean, I think about everything in relation to my relationship with Matt and Karen. 'cause
with
I
the
love them
interest
so
of
much.
time,
Shout out to Matt and Karen. I don't know them, but shout out to you guys.
Yeah.
they're the greatest. We shout them out all the time.
Yeah.
With the interest of time, are we happy with Far From Home's position on this list?
Where's
I'm
it again?
sad.
C?
It's in C.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
I'm fine with it.
You fine with that?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Let's try to be. We won't spend as much time on this portion, but I say we go through
This is
each
as long
tier.
as an MCU movie.
Almost. We're getting there.
Almost.
Let's go through each tier and order them. So, like, number one of the tier will be over here,
Okay.
and number, like, so on and so forth. S tier. Do we think that Iron Man deserves to be
No.
at the front?
No.
Okay.
No. Put it like second last.
Better
for now.
than Civil.
Oh no, I like what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
So, like,
Keep with
should it be better or behind Winter Soldier?
Yes.
Behind. Yeah.
Should it be
Behind,
behind
yes.
Civil War?
Yep.
Yes.
What about Guardians of the Galaxy?
Me personally, yeah.
I'd put it here, honestly. Like,
You
right
put
at the
it
end.
very last.
Well, because I think it's fucking great, but I do think that these movies are a little bit
Compared
better.
to the other ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should Winter Soldier be
Yeah.
all the way over here?
Ooh.
Like at the end over here. That would be the popular pick.
Can I just? I mean, you already know what I'm gonna say.
Well, you obviously want
I'm
this.
gonna flip flop. I know where you're gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flip flop. You can either put Black Panther or
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier in the first.
I think that as terms of quality movies, these two are both S pluses.
Yeah.
I just think it's outside influence. Like Black Panther's outside influence puts it over Winter Soldier
Yeah.
because Winter Soldier was loved in Marvel comics things, but the crossover effects of Black Panther, and I think it's also going to have lasting effects in like cinema as a whole. I think people are going to be looking to it when it comes
Okay.
to movie making as a whole,
Okay.
which is why I think it should be first.
I'll put it here, but in my own personal rankings, these two, in terms of movie quality, okay, fine. In terms of what you just said, cultural relevance,
Yeah.
and filmmaking being like, in terms of it being an important film,
if you forced me to just talk about
like,
the movie,
yeah,
I would have a hard time putting either one first.
okay,
But because we're taking, like cultural effect into consideration here, I think that Black Panther
Okay.
should be first.
we'll put it here and
Yeah.
we'll leave it there.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, these two are equal.
Okay.
Well, how about that?
Okay.
Should Civil War be here?
I think so.
Better than these movies? I don't think it's better than Infinity War, so I put it. I
Whoa,
definitely
yeah,
do
Yeah,
that.
put Infinity War before.
Yeah.
I don't think it's better than Ragnarok either. Actually, I think this order is pretty good.
You know
I'll
what?
allow
I think
it.
actually,
I'll allow it.
I think you just made it great.
I'll allow it.
Okay, this is our final S tier.
Okay.
Any objections?
None.
Okay, moving on to A.
Put Endgame first.
Yep. And then and then I would do this.
Yep.
Sorry, we have Endgame, First Avengers, and
then
Winter Soldier.
Cap-
First
Or
cap.
First Captain. I always think it's Winter Soldier. Even though we were
Those
just talking
those
about
pictures
it.
do look similar.
They're very similar.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
I got no problems with this.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm cool.
This one's gonna be interesting.
So we have Far From Home, First Ant-Man, Captain Marvel, Ant-Man versus the Wasp, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Ultron.
You know what, Sam?
Am I saying that right?
I'm gonna start this off with this.
Yeah.
With this order in mind.
Thank you.
Oh.
I was gonna say
I,
that.
I think with this order in mind,
I was gonna say that.
it's not better than these three movies.
Okay.
But it deserves to be here.
Okay.
I will acquiesce because I wanted it to be up there in the first place.
You know, I was thinking about it the whole time.
I think
just
it's
now.
I like it better than the first Captain America, but I'll let it happen. I'll let it happen.
In terms of these movies, I actually think this is pretty good.
Yeah.
I almost would put Ant-Man above Spider-Man though.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what Brad said about it being a heist movie and stuff like that, I
You're
think
right.
puts it
You're
over
right.
the edge.
Okay, you know what? I'll
Yeah.
put it there, but
Yeah.
not this though.
Nope.
This has to stay here.
No, I would
Paul
say
Rudd
I would
has
leave that
no
there.
influence on this choice.
No.
A little bit, but not a lot.
Small, but
Yeah.
not. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm happy with this.
No, because like I love a good heist movie, and what Brad said about it being like Marvel's heist movie, I really dig it, and I would put it first in the B category.
Out of these movies, I'd put Doctor Strange at the front.
Ooh.
I'm cool.
I like Doctor Strange. And then I would put
I mean,
Thor.
and I would say at least put Thor in second place. If you're not
Really?
gonna
Okay.
put him
I
in
was
first
gonna
place,
go
at least put him in
Guardians.
second
I was
place.
gonna go Guardians after.
I would put
Strange.
I would put Guardians here, and then I would put Far From Home over Hulk.
See, I would put Guardians first, Thor second, and Doctor Strange third. But then again, I haven't seen all of Doctor Strange to really
You know, Sam,
materialize it.
I actually agree with
I feel
that.
like both
Thank
of you
you.
have seen the same amount of Doctor Strange.
No, see, I really like Doctor Strange, but see, okay, this is bothering me though. I think this.
All right. Well, I will acquiesce only
but see,
because
but
I
I
will
also
acquiesce
don't think-
only because I haven't seen all of Doctor Strange.
But I also don't think that
So I
Far From
can't
Home is worse than
speak too much.
Thor. I think it's better than
Right.
Thor. But Thor is definitely better than Hulk.
This
Yeah.
is tricky.
This is a tough one.
This is tough. This
This
is
is a tough one.
Yeah.
I think I'm happy with this.
Yeah.
But listen, guys, it's up for discussion.
Sorry, what do we have in first now? Is that a
We have
Guardians?
Guardians 2,
Okay, Guardians
Doctor Strange,
2.
Far From Home, Thor 1, Hulk 1. Hulk only.
Just Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk
Yeah.
only. We're
Yeah.
not even gonna talk about Eric Bana's Hulk. I love how we didn't even think about that
Because
one.
that's not part of
It's not part of the MCU.
It's not part of the MCU.
It's like putting Blade on here. Although Blade.
Blade soon, it's coming. And isn't it?
I watched a really good
It's
movie
Mahershala
about.
Ali.
what-
Yeah.
Who else would you cast?
Yeah.
Not
Who
Wesley
else?
Snipes again.
Well, I mean, he's
Also,
too busy
Mahershala
being in
Ali,
jail.
I feel like if you put him in the exact same costume and don't really touch his face too much, he looks exactly like Wesley Snipes.
Yeah,
in,
you're right,
In,
yeah.
in
Yeah,
Blade,
Put
in Blade,
shades on. Yep.
put shades on, he looks exactly like
Totes.
Wesley Snipes. But,
Totally.
There's
Better
also
choice,
I
though,
watched a
so.
really good movie video. I wish I could find it about Blade's impact on superhero movies as a whole and why we wouldn't have an MCU without Blade.
Yeah, I believe
but
that.
that's it's not MCU, so I'm not going to bog us down with
Right,
that.
right.
I'm
Are we
really
happy with C?
I'm fine with Hulk being at the bottom. Yes.
Hulk is staying here for sure.
absolutely.
It's
My only
these
qualm,
three that I think
I just
could be changed around.
They're brothers. I'm
Brothers.
torn about Thor
I just
and
okay.
Spider-Man.
I know what you mean, but I think
and
that
I know
these
what you mean with Spider-Man.
they
but
seem
I'm
to be
torn.
more. I think these are more entertaining movies than Thor is.
But the brother dynamic was better in Ragnarok. So.
It's true, and Ragnarok is up
Fine,
here.
fine,
Yeah.
fine. I won with Black
you
Panther.
can
I
make
won
your
with
own
Captain
little
Marvel,
list at home.
and I'll just yeah.
Sam will make her own tier list where like all of these are D and Black Panther's up here.
This is the Showspot / Brad
Yeah.
list.
So,
I'll leave it.
Moving down to D. Now we have to decide what Marvel movie is the worst one.
Thor does not deserve to be the
Why
worst
did you
one.
put Iron Man 2 all the way down there? Immediately.
Well, because Iron Man 3.
I think
Three,
Thor
sorry,
should
yeah.
be first in the D.
I'm actually happy with this.
I'm cool.
I
with
think that Iron Man
Yeah.
3
That's
is the
Thor-
worst MCU movie.
That's Thor 2. Like,
Thor 2, Dark World. Iron Man
Man
2,
2.
Iron Man 3.
wow, a bunch of sequels.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Marvel's got a number 2 problem, save for Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, well, guys, there it is.
I think that's it.
Whoop, there it is.
Here is our definitive MCU tier list.
It's official.
We're clearly quite generous. we clearly like a lot of these
I
movies.
think that it speaks to. I mean, okay, so let's take into consideration the fact that, like, yes, we have our S tier list,
Mm-hmm.
but think about how much time we spent talking about the C tier.
It's
You
true.
know what I mean? I
It's
think
true.
it's a testament to the quality of these movies that even the ones that we don't like as much, we can really, really pick apart and talk about. And if that's not what if that's not what good cinema does, then I don't know what it
Then
is
fuck
supposed
Martin
to do.
Scorsese.
Fuck Martin Scorsese.
Eat your heart out, Martin
No,
Scorsese.
nah.
Chill Spot's coming for you.
Nah, it's fine. You can. It's an opinion, and you can have an opinion.
Totally.
I respect Martin Scorsese's opinion. I really do.
Alrighty, you guys. It's been an hour and 36 minutes.
If you're at this point, I feel like we just need to let you go.
God
so
bless you.
I don't want to.
I hope
spiel too much.
y'all enjoyed this. I actually had a ton of fucking fun.
I had a great time.
This was a lot of fun to talk
for
about
sure.
this.
And I would love it if this sparked discussion.
Yeah.
in like comments.
Go
and
on
stuff.
Tier Maker, you type in MCU movies. It's the second option.
Yo.
Make your own tier list. Send it to
Yo,
us.
if you want to send us your tier list, I'll put together like a master class of like people's tier lists
Well,
and credit you, of course.
Yeah, if you want to send us your tier list, we'll talk about it on the podcast.
I would love
next
I
time
would
we do
love
it.
that. I would love that.
But just like that, guys, we'll see y'all next time. If you like this video, be sure to like it and share it. Be sure to subscribe, share it with your friends, start discussions, and have yourself a great day.
Peace out.
Dab.